Today we are going to be talking about a couple of different things, as well as ranking the non-legendary Pokemon in Regulation G. But first off, I guess I should probably introduce the people I'm with. If you're not familiar with them, I've got a lot of questions. But right above me, we have Michael Zhang, otherwise known as Eternalsnowman. How you doing?
Good. Haven't been on in a while. I think this is the first fearless stream I'm doing with you guys since the new format, since like all the way back in Reg G when we were doing it informally. So
Right.
nice
We've
to be
done a
on.
couple of them. And then I'm gonna have to ask ESM to point up to introduce our next guest because there we go. That guy, yes, looks perfect. Is my co-host Adi? How you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing well. It's good to be back. I know you guys don't see me very often, so yeah, it's always good to have a chat with my best buddies, Michael and Alex.
Um, yeah, and then all right, Adi just dropped the link, but yeah, so we'll be talking about a couple of current events, a couple of registrations, reminders, as well as some of the tournaments that took place over the past weekend. And yeah, if you are here now, but you're not gonna be able to stay around for the whole thing, or if you'd much rather watch us on 2X on YouTube, on the go or whatever, you can check us out at CK49 VGC on YouTube, or you can just search CK49. That probably works too. But Adi put the link in the chat. So, anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to mention them as we go along. And other than that, let's get to it. So our first bit of stuff is mostly just like the housekeeping off the top. We have a couple of signups coming up. I think these were today.
Yep.
Today, like 30 minutes before we started.
hmm
So if you're watching this on YouTube, it's too late. You missed it. Just kidding. Double check. You might still be able to make it. Um,
you
but
know, I'd be
go ahead.
shocked if they filled up. But Atlanta, I just asked the chat. Atlanta has 568 people signed up in the first hour and
Already?
a half. Yeah, yeah. So, and we don't know what the cap is going to be. If they let it, if they really have a large capacity, I think this regional could hit 1,000 people. But they also
Okay.
Atlanta is presumably more expensive than Charlotte or Orlando, where we've all hit 900 in the past. So this really might it really might cap, and it really might cap quickly. So yeah, if you're planning on going, sign up sooner rather
Yeah.
than later.
Apologies, we could not get recording set up earlier in the week. Some things came up, but regardless, though, yeah. Then if you're going to Atlanta, I would check ASAP because 530 minutes is like a little worrying. Um,
It's
yeah.
an hour and a half.
I
It's now it
Yeah.
only
Sorry.
had 450 in the first 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Wait, am I stupid? It says, oh, it's 7 EST,
It's
not 7
EST.
Central. The other
Yeah,
one's
The
7
other one is,
Central? Wait, why did they put
yeah.
them in? Well, they put
I
them in
think
the
it's
okay.
the
The
local
respective time
time
zones.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, local time zones. Sure. And everyone's joking
Wait,
about
you travel to you
Monterey.
fly out to regionals? You fly to you just I thought they were regional tournaments.
You're right. You're right. 7 p.m. ES. Anyways, yeah, Monterey. How do you say that? Monterey.
Monterey, like the
Monterey.
cheese.
People
Monterey
were
Jack, right?
people were talking about this one. Is there like a location in California as well? Um, Not that this is not the one, right?
This is
Uh,
this is in northeastern Mexico.
okay, okay. I mean, I think no parts of California are Central Time, so that part should have been immediately clear. But just to triple check,
Yeah, it's
California's
our
big.
8th NA regional or whatever. 10th NA regional. I don't know how many we have.
Mm-hmm. Monterey Bay. Yeah, is that the aquarium one? I heard people saying like, are we turning up to the aquarium, right? I don't know. Anyways, another important sign up announcement. So yeah, if you're going to those ones, just make sure you're doing it right away. This one, I don't know who this one's for. There's definitely like people out there, but like EUIC is coming up fast. Like this is the last episode we're doing before the EUIC preview. And then we'll ultimately be watching it. Because none of us are going. But
Wait, you're not going?
um
This is for you.
yes, you're right.
It's
Actually,
not too late.
it's not too late. um yeah. So anyways, yeah, I don't know how many slots this possibly could be for. It seems like it's not for TCG seniors, I guess, that they can't get any more in there. That's like kind of a funny little addendum. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I imagine that there's like some people who are like in the UK that maybe would play now given the opportunity. But yeah, with it being such short notice, um, or maybe there's some people who did really truly book their travel before they got registered, and then they just like missed all 3 waves. I think I do know one person in NA who might go. They went over 3 on the signups, and they might still try this one, which is insane to me. But anyways,
It's me. I'm going.
It's Adi, by the way. Yeah, Adi says something. No,
I imagine if you're
I
in Europe, like
right.
even outside the UK, from what I understand, it's pretty cheap to travel inside Europe. So like it might still be feasible for those people. But I don't know the specifics about that. So maybe.
So I want to like mention something mildly tangential, but basically I have like very mild FOMO for this tournament because it is like going to be the biggest tournament ever, right? I don't want to play rank G, so I'm not feeling that bad. You know, and I didn't want to go to London for the 4th time either. But like some of the most fun tournaments are when they are like, you know, massive tournaments, lots of, you know, like glory and prestige to be won. Like I mean, it's going to be the same amount of prize money as NAIC, you know, the like whatever, all in LAIC and all the rest. But the fact that this one is so big is just super super exciting. It'll make it fun to watch at the very least because yeah, I really don't want to play Reg G. The other ones that are like really fun to play are first in format tournaments, which that's going to be Milwaukee. That we're not quite at the time, quite at the point of talking about that one, but it kind of just made me think about like some of the most exciting tournaments are, you know, first in format ones, and then when we're, you know, breaking these attendance number records. I've been to a couple of the attendance record breaking ones. What were the most recent 2? Orlando, right? Was one of them.
Orlando, and then the previous
Charlotte, and then
Orlando.
Orlando, or something like that. Yeah, Charlotte broke Orlando's record, and then Orlando broke it
Okay.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
And Wolf
So-
won all 3 of them, just as a reminder.
Oh, and then I believe
Well,
Dallas, the first one in Sword and Shield also broke attendance numbers, right?
I mean, if Wolf wants to keep up his YouTube career, then he better. Maybe this is for him. Maybe he didn't get in yet, and they're just setting it up for him. Anyways,
Well, what if we have a bunch of no-shows, and then Wolf doesn't show up because it's not the biggest tournament ever?
oh, he just says, "Actually, I'm flying home.
Yeah, not worth it.
I made my team and everything. I flew out here, but that's not the biggest one. What's the point?"
Because he's already got his Worlds invite. He doesn't need it.
That's true. That's true.
Well, you got to steal it from the Europeans now.
Wolf
my
stealing
God.
a Worlds invite from the Europeans would be the funniest thing.
Thank you for reminding me about like my favorite thing about like what I am going to be rooting for is sitting at home watching EUIC is again, I've said it 1,000 times. No, you know, country pride, especially given a lot of the things going on right now. Like I'm not big on the US or anything like that. I'm pretty anti-EU though. Those guys are cringe, and so I would love to steal one of their invites. I would love to have 4 NA in top 4 of EUIC and just get all of their invites. Not only like because I'm like a little bit anti-EU, that's also actually just directly beneficial to me as somebody trying to qualify for Worlds, right? I mean, that would just be 4 people that are no longer in the top 75. They are just voided out of it because they earned an auto invite.
Yeah,
Well,
it would be optimal, like in terms of invites, that if all of our regionals were won by different people, and then top 4 of every internats was all NA, but also all different people, and also all different people from the ones that won regionals, then we would be cutting out like 20 people. So it
but
would be
also,
top 100.
Those people would have had to have gotten invite otherwise, which, for example, Ashton, who got the LAIC invite, got top 4, is currently 73rd. He might not have gotten an invite if he lost in top 8, for example. You know, the last 2 NA players who did really well were Tim Edwards and PatCon, and they were also like probably not getting an invite unless they did exactly that well, right? And so, you know, we see a lot of like unexpected Americans come in and do well. You really want like the people who are already doing really well to come in and smash at UIC with this new format, which is pretty funny.
Bruno, not to say that your reasons aren't justified at all, because those are all very solid. But yeah, like he does already have an auto invite. It would be really funny though to just see Ashton effectively like take an auto invite and burn it on stage in front of everybody. Just like, nobody gets this one. This one's gone. That would be hilarious.
I'm
Who
sure
do
there's
you
a number
think?
of players in attendance that will be in contention to burning the auto invite. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask, who do you think the first person to earn a second Worlds invite is?
It is a really good question. Maybe we come back to it next week. I'm going to think on it because yeah, it's very much in line with the topic of the UIC coming up. But yeah, very very funny thing to think about. Yeah, that somebody might get 2 auto invites in a way. Okay, let's go ahead and start talking about the weekend's tournaments, because if we're gonna get through all of these Pokemon in Regulation G and ranking them and stuff, we gotta get going, right?
Yeah, well, speaking of invites that were almost stolen, you could watch the finals of this tournament somewhere. I saw it on Twitter, and I saw it on Reddit too, actually. And Daniel versus Marcus Dion. Marcus, of course, a Canadian player, top 10 in NA right now, and had it dead to rights. And then the heat wave from Chiyu burnt his Chen Pao and KO'd it through Stash, and he lost finals because of that. So North America almost stole an invite from this regional.
Well, you said it sounded like he had it, but he did. I mean, it wasn't locked up. He was careless.
Yeah, he had a like 92% chance or something like that to win it. Just didn't quite get there.
Yep. Really, really, really tragic though. That yeah, I guess like selfishly the NA players are rooting for Marcus. Because yeah, again, that would be another invite that would have been just like stolen from another region. Anyways, though,
and as the person who is currently in 76th in NA, I really need us to start stealing some invites. It'd be really nice.
That's true. That's true. My points finally came in for the GC. I got 7th. I don't think this is like something that will like actually make a whole topic on Tub Takes. I'll just mention it now in passing. But number 1, 2, and 3 got no points in the GC. That does include Tapo Wapo for people who remember the standings. Might try to get that corrected, but it might be too late to do a support ticket or anything like that. We'll have to wait and see. Because Tapo did get points for some of the grand challenges. It did seem legitimately kind of weird. Regardless, though, number 1, still a mystery person. Number 3, word on the street is that they were multi-carding, which is funny because it's like not even like optimal. Like you can't sneak that one by them. So they just screwed up. If they did multi-carding, like they're just gonna be like, oh, you're here and here in the standings, you're DQ'd. That's the word on the street, though. I mean, don't take that with 100% facts. Double Donuts, thank you for the sub. Welcome to Tub Nation. So anyways, the first 3 get DQ'd. 4th place, again, for people that might not remember, was Suika. Suika, who has now won 2 GCs in terms of like points. Got first in a grand challenge and now first in a global. I mean, it makes sense. Suika's just different at this. The third finish, by the way, is like a 3rd place, or like 150 points. So, Suika is just crushing it in these online competitions.
And then that's 490 off of just
online.
And I heard that Suika is just like lapping the rest of the Australians in terms of points right now. So
yeah,
I can pull that one up.
Oh
yeah. He's 1182, and then Diego is second at 829.
I can pull it up on it.
And Oliver is 3rd, and he has an auto invite at 804. He won the first Australian regional. So yeah, he's safe.
I think I checked this page recently because this topic came up, and I thought that Suika was further. I thought that Suika was going to have a bigger jump, but I think Suika might have already had like the win didn't actually replace that bad of a finish, because Suika's just good at these things. So it might not have actually been a full 170. Yeah, it might have been something smaller.
He had a top 32 already, I think a 29th or something like that, based on, I think he tweeted something.
So then it would just be like a 50-point gain?
Yeah, 50 point.
Okay. I'm currently like dead center, like me and Adi, in terms of like us, in terms of like the world's invites. Like Adi is just currently not good enough.
So technically I am good enough because we have some auto invites as well.
Oh, you're right. So you're fine.
But yeah,
Just stay
I'm
there.
on the line.
Just stay there. You're good.
Stop
And
the
then I'm
count.
like
Stop the count.
37 is like kind of like
Oh, wow,
dead
you have
center. Like I'm
700
like
points.
literally like smack dab in the middle.
Mhm.
So that's pretty funny. Peep that 86. Let me go back to see who was 86. Is there
I think this is the strongest top 78 of
Bruno.
all time.
Top
Uh,
78, yo?
It's pretty stacked. It's pretty stacked. I was looking through the list and like there are not a ton of players in the top 75 that I like really expect to fall off. And there's a few players below top 75 that I think could make a push for it. And so,
We are
you know,
going
it
to
will be a very
see
competitive race.
we're going to see some very strong players miss their Worlds invite is like just the truth of the matter. I don't know who they will be. I don't know what circumstance will determine it. It might just be that they didn't go to enough tournaments. Like I do know some players, like some friends who are like, you know, borderline and they're very strong competitors, but they just aren't like going to their locals. They're not like going to enough tournaments and it's like, all right, you kind of have to attend. You have to show up this year, you know, even if
Mhm.
you're going to do well enough at the couple that you're going to, like you still have to like, you know, fill those BFLs and stuff.
And
Um,
on that note, we talked about this last week, but I'm going to say it again. Please announce the last regional. Man, I don't want to go to Atlanta. I don't want to play Reg G, but if you don't tell me there's going to be one more event in Regulation I like kind of have to go because there's no other event to go to for me to fill out my BFL. Like I'm going to
Mhm.
NAIC, I'm going to Milwaukee. I need one more event. Let me know when this last regional is happening, please.
I am very much on the train that it's going to be like canceled. I'm very worried that it's going to be canceled, especially because the rumor has it that it's pretty close to me. The rumor has it that it's going to be drivable for me, but uh, eh, so annoying. Anyways,
If it gets
though,
canceled, I'm flying out to Santiago. I don't have a choice. I have to go to that or Utrecht. Like it's so stupid.
what somebody said in the chat. Oh yeah, anyone from Tub going to Puerto Rico? Yeah, we're going to be previewing that one in here in a bit. But is anybody in Tub going to Puerto Rico?
No, I know a few players going
Not
to
that I
Puerto
know
Rico,
of.
but I don't think Tub is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, back to the results though. Talking about how Marcus almost stole an invite, but Daniel ended up winning the whole thing with Dondozo. I don't know when the last time Dondozo got like a major tournament win. And this is a regional. There was prize money and everything on the line. Worlds invite, and yeah, Daniel ended up taking it with this team that, if people aren't super familiar with it, showed up at the World Championships, got top 8 there. And I actually don't even know if many changes were made to it from that version. Like, it is pretty damn close to just exact. So,
Mhm.
sad.
In fact, there's like we can look at these teams and we can be like, okay, well I've seen this team before. I've seen this team before. There are not a ton of like super original teams out there. I do want to shout out. I mean, I'm kind of skipping over some, but I don't know how much there's to say about Standard Team Azenta. I do want to give a shout out to Paul Ruiz who used Chestnut. That team was pretty cool. And yeah, you know, I'm always a fan of using innovative fighting types to put next to your Calibric Shadow. It just really needs we've seen it like I saw in Japan Nats. I think we saw Iron Defense Body Press Cabalion or Iron whatever the iron form of Cabalion is. And so Chestnut doing it is pretty cool too.
No, it surely must be Cabalion.
It was just Cabalion.
Iron
Was it really?
is not a fighting type.
I forget if it was Iron Crown or Cabalion.
Iron Cabalion. I mean, it is steel already. Anyways, though, the Chestnut, definitely a funny pick. I can't believe such a flawed set can't hit ghost types at all. I don't know how the team is going to get over that hump. So,
Yep.
bit of an oversight. Anyways, though, I thought Marcus. I didn't do too much looking into this one in advance, but I thought Marcus just like saw MDB release the pace of the Worlds team and just loaded it up. It looks like there's like a change or two here. I don't know if MDB ran no Protect Flutter and it was Water Ursh for sure.
Yeah, Dark Ursh is actually pretty rare on Zama, so we also see the Behemoth Bash. It's listed as Ironhead on the team sheet, but it's Behemoth Bash, which I think is in direct response to Justin Tang or the Tang's team, which were on Fairy Calyrex, which that is the biggest power different. Well, they're that and Raging Bolt are the two where Behemoth Bash will have a significantly higher base power, where it's worth dropping that 20 base power versus everything else. But um,
What about
other than that,
Merida? I know that you might know the answer to this one.
it's 80. 80.
So it is still stronger then.
It is stronger,
Mhm.
but it's not enough that it's worth dropping heavy.
That's not
Slam.
for you to decide. Okay. All right, buddy. I just asked for the facts. No opinions. And so yeah, I guess like I mean it's just kind of funny that it is mildly relevant. We do see Fairy, Terra, Miraidon win this thing, and Fairy, Terra, Miraidon's also been pretty common in a couple of for a while now. So it's nice. I bet. I bet situationally, maybe not enough to make the whole justification, but there was other justifications as you mentioned, the Fairy Bolts and the Fairy Ice Riders catching on. There's a Grassy
Yeah.
Seed Zama in cut. Is one of these
Number
guys
15,
fake?
Alexis Hernandez.
Oh, that's a fake dog. That's a fake
Okay,
dog.
I don't know if it's the same person, but at one of the first Reg G, like in the first time we had Reg G, I know that Grassy Seed Zama had, I think, a top 8. I don't know if it's the same person that was running the team, but this isn't the first time we've seen it. Is all I'll
Chad
say.
already found it. Chad already found it, but I was like, can you guys see what I see? Holy shit, Sheer Cold Chen Pao. What do
Oh, hell
we do?
yeah.
What the heck?
It's the Dozo answer. There's
It's
no
a
other
Dozo
responses to
answer.
Dozo on the team.
There's no other
That's-
way you could beat Dozo with a team like this. It
That's
just
true.
had to be Sheer Cold.
Uh,
I wasn't
so I
anticipating
mean,
as well.
to be fair, if you know that there are going to be 3 of Zamazenta in top 4, this is the set to run, right?
No, you run Sacred Sword. Don't you just run Sacred Sword?
No.
It
Oh,
does
I
check you.
meant the Grassy Seed Zama. If
Oh,
you know
okay,
there's gonna be
okay. I
Zama
thought you
top
meant
4.
Sheer Cold. I thought you were justifying
This-
Sheer Cold. I was like, what?
No, I can't justify that one. But I think the Zama set is pretty funny. Obviously losing the steel typing is usually pretty bad, but sometimes it's pretty good. And into opposing Zama is like the one place that it's actually quite good.
Base Zama also has some other interesting qualities, I guess. With Grassy Seed, it's slightly stronger than normal Zama. Like, I think it's by a factor of like 1.2 or so. And then also, it's like quite a bit faster. It's base 138 compared to base 128, so you can jump
Oh.
like a fair bit of things in speed if you want to. I don't know what the speed stat on this is, but if you wanted to, you could be faster than POW. So I mean, something to note, I guess.
And
Plus-
opposing Miraidon and Koraidon is also a big one too.
Mm-hmm.
I was
You're
gonna
not
say
weak to
that,
Koraidon anymore? Wait a second. This is the Koraidon matchup.
It is all, yeah. I mean, it's
That's pretty much what I was gonna say. Is that the benefit is you also don't have to be a steel type, which everyone knows is such a huge downside, and nobody wants those 11 resistances that comes with being a steel type. It's much better to be just a pure fighting type. Definitely. But they cooked. They did well enough with it, well enough to make it to the top cut. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, so in terms of some of the other teams, a lot of them are, well, a little.
Yeah.
I'm looking around, and yeah, I don't see a ton of other stuff that I really need to talk about. A couple of other NA players here invading, and they did, they all got close, but none of them could close the deal. Daniel ended up taking it all, so yeah, I'm going to take a quick peek at the second page here to see if there's any teams at a glance that we should probably mention, but nah, I don't really think so. We might come back and reference these when we're talking about the tier list later, though. So
yeah, I will say one last thing. It's interesting that we see 5 Zamazenta in top cut, and obviously 3 of them were in top 4. So that's like probably the big standout. The only 2 Miraidon in top cut, but they both did quite well, of course, winning the event. And then there were 4, 5, 6 Ice Riders in top cut, which you wouldn't look at and realize from like the initial breakdown, because only one of them converted into top 8, right? So Ice Rider actually did really well this tournament. It just did not win any of its top cut matches, it seems like. So
yeah. I would also add here for the Miraidons that both are not Arubega. It's Riley's version, which of course he was the one running it, and then the Merida and Dozo stuff. I will say in general, Reg G is a format that I won't say it's completely solved, but like we're like 95% of the way there, and so it'll be rare and hard to see big innovations, especially like for players that might be hiding stuff before UIC or whatever it is. But I don't think. Well, I think we'll see at UIC. Will probably be like the final innovations that we'll see in the format, I guess. But Reg G is a mostly solved format, I would say. So
I agree. I'm not gonna fight you on that one. Not much at all. But yeah, Riley, that it is kind of funny that the world's winning team didn't quite have a big showing here, but you can't win every tournament, I guess. At least not outside of Europe. We'll see when we go back to Europe in EUIC if they can do it again. Speaking of Europe, though, I wanted to talk about the Victory Road February challenge because that was won by a European player, Sitchit Francisco Pio Perot. Won
No,
with
is that Heatran? Is that Heatran? I thought that was Alex's Pokemon. Everyone keeps talking about Alex's team that uses Heatran.
Yeah, 100%. Stole the idea from me. I actually got the DM, was like, oh, Alex, what do I run in VR? And I was like, just run standard Terapagos, but run Heatran. Definitely did not get this from somebody who did well with Terapagos Heatran at San Antonio, though I will say they ended up making the Heatran a real Pokemon, and I'm not talking about the Stealth Rocks, I just mean not running Zoom Lens. Like, run a real item, hit your move. If you're gonna hit your move, or if you have to hit your moves, hit your moves. And didn't end up running Will-O-Wisp. Instead, ran Stealth Rocks. I think Stealth Rock's pretty based right now. There's a lot of, like, Sash Pokemon. I think one of the Pokemon that people play very... people use very heavily in the Tropicos matchup is like a Sash Urshifu. And they'll keep it in the back. Keep it in the back because they want to switch it in at the end of the game and then hit that Tropicos with a close combat to finish it off. However... if the Urshifu can't take 2 hits because its Sash was broken by Stealth Rocks on the way in, then that might not be good enough. That might not be good enough depending on a couple of things about the state of the game, how healthy the Terapagos is, and whatnot. But really, that is the cool thing, is that it's good at breaking those Sashes, as well as stopping Incin cycling in the mirror. If Incins, we don't run heavy duty boots over here in the VGC space. So if these Incins keep coming in and in and in, they're not going to have HP by the end of the game.
Yeah, Stealth Rocks is a very cool move, especially if you're trying to play a slower game, and it works very well in conjunction with Screamtail, because one of the ways to stop the Screamtail full lock is to try to like switch around, pivot around, try to set up a board state where it's not possible for them to lock you. But Stealth Rock will make sure that you're adding that residual chip, like maybe instead of forcing the lock, like if they're trying to swap around a bunch, you can just start clicking Dazzling Gleam, and then the chip starts to add up a lot. So it's a very cool idea for sure.
Other than that, though, the rest of it is just mostly stuff we've seen on Terapagos teams before. Though I thought Terapagos wasn't looking the hottest after some recent tournaments, and then after this one, I don't know if this is going to inspire more people to try it out at EUIC or not. But we'll have to, I guess, wait and see. This is very much a European-style team, though. Europeans love this type of stuff. They love Incineroar. No Ursh, but
Yeah, and I don't think we mentioned this, but this exact same 6 Pokemon, there were 2 of them that went 8-3 at San Antonio. And so yeah, they did kind of change the Heatran setup, but I think the idea was pretty stolen from them.
Yes, and me.
And you, of course. We did the bit, but yeah, no. Shout outs to I think it was Ismail and I forget the other person, but they were the original creators of the team.
I do also think that going into EYC, just like Shadow Rider is going to be probably at an all-time high usage at UIC, and so Pagos is supposed to be good into Shadow Rider, so we might see a rise in or like an uptick in results from Pagos, despite like what I would say has been a relatively poor showing in the second half of Reg G.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about like I keep mentioning this, but knowing your like regional metagame is kind of important. I feel like the Italians tend to be the group that really like Shadow Rider. They really showed out with it last year. And I guess the rest of Europe really didn't use it that much, honestly, not all things considered. So I don't know. I feel like Shadow Rider might still be on the downturn. We didn't see much of it at Birmingham, of course. Birmingham, pretty far away from Italy. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was relatively low usage compared to some of the other options that people are using.
For no reason whatsoever, I'm just going to say that definitely have your Shadow Rider counters for EUIC. And not based on
Yeah.
usage or anything, but just because I hate that Pokemon with a passion. Um,
It
there
is
was
very high on usage on ladder right now, so that is all I will
So
say.
the one other team from this tournament, because most of these teams are pretty stock standard. We've seen a lot of them before. But the one other team that I want to highlight is that there were two other teams I want to highlight. There were two like offensive Kyogre teams in top 8, and that's something that we saw. We saw Pengi go 10-0 at San Antonio with an offensive Kyogre team. They had kind of fallen off. Most of the Kyogre teams were either running Assault Vest or running Calm Mind prior at Worlds and prior to Worlds. But now we're seeing these guys kind of come back into the format, and so that's something that's pretty interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if there is like innovation left in the format. I think it's on the fringes, and I think this is one of the archetypes that still has some innovation left to be worked on. And I think there are probably some people who are looking to use Kyogre at EUIC as well. Wouldn't be shocked to see it making a big turnout.
Looking
Yeah,
at this
well, I
team-
think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, one of so I actually have been playing with testing some Kyogre stuff because I used it in MPA last week. And one of the things I noticed is that offensive Kyogre preys very heavily on the fact that the Tang team had Fairy on Cali, and if you're Fairy on Cali, you just lose to Water Spout Kyogre. Like it just like completely wipes the entire team, and a well-supported Kyogre can easily just clean up the entire team if you're not a Terra that resists water. So dragon, grass, water. And so if that continues to be a trend, I know that a lot of Calis are moving more towards water because of that. When I was testing on ladder, like I saw right after the regional, it was like all fairy, and then like a couple days later, it was like nobody's fairy anymore, because fairy is like really good into Zama, but I think outside of Zama, especially into Kyogre, like not even just the offensive Kyogres, which take better advantage of it, but even the normal Kyogres with Combine Origin Pulse, like the balanced versions, it can be really annoying if you're not resisting to water. But just something I wanted to add.
I've got a lot more respect for these offense Kyogre teams than the Calm Mind one. Personally, I think the Calm Mind one is fine. We'll probably talk about it a little bit later because it features Roaring Moon, and I want to see where we end up ranking that guy in the tier list. But the thing about the offense Kyogre teams is that they really just like put on the pressure and are built to abuse the type chart super well. Usually they're featuring Chien Pao to hit those grass and dragon types, and then oftentimes they'll also have ways to hit the water types in the format, either Kyogre or Urshifu. Urshifu is not a great water spout resist, maybe not the best example, but still, regardless, the pressure that is put out by these teams with water spout is immense, and so I think that it's just also a lot more reliable than spamming Origin Pulse after getting up 3 Calm Minds and your rain turns run out. I just don't like those Calm Mind teams. They're just so whatever. But this one with the Giraffe Bear, that's weird. That's a weird one, and I would not like have and Scarf Kyogre. I would not have like predetermined lines going into a match like this, and that's I think still a really strong thing to be doing in Reg G if you can make it happen. We talked about the format being mostly solved, and so if you can find something that's outside the box, you're making your opponent play a game that they weren't ready to be playing.
I love this because you're gonna lead your electric type into the Choice Scarf Kyogre and Farigiraf, and you're gonna click the electric move. Surely you're gonna click the electric move into the Kyogre, right? And so you just switch it into Ursaluna and you click Trick Room and you win the game.
I
It's
clicked
great.
the grass move actually. They're both weak to grass. You lost. You're so stupid, Audie. Unbelievable.
If only
You
the
fell
other
for it.
3 Pokemon of the team all didn't beat grass types. But no, I think it's funny. I think it's the Raging Bolt answer, really, right? Uh,
Yeah.
the one
Mhm.
last team that I wanted to bring up while we're talking about Victory Road is there's a Glastrier in Top Cut, not a Calyrex Ice. There's a Glastrier at 13th
This
place.
Pokemon keeps popping
Um,
up. I think he sucks,
well,
dude. Like, well,
I,
there's no
Unmounted?
way.
I just
Unmounted?
I just love that we're in the dog shit Iron Defense body press part of the format. We've you know that we know we've reached the end of the format when you get to that part of the format. It always happens.
They really just keep doing it, huh?
Oh, it's AV. Right on. Let's go.
Oh, AV Crydon is pretty whack too, huh? That's funny. Yeah, I do not support this set, but also like maybe it's really good into Ice Rider. I feel like Ditto is really good into Ice Rider, and you could just slap that on. Like, just use the Ditto or like
This guy is
Ogerpon
probably
Rock.
good into.
You don't have that either.
This guy's also really good into Zama though. You get
So is
Iron Defense
Ditto.
body.
So is Ditto. Oh my gosh. AV Karadon plus a coaching user though, that could be funny. That could be funny. AV Ice Rider plus a coaching user. Now I'm interested. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to say about this team when we were looking at earlier, the Arch Rain team, was that I feel like they're playing Reg H, F, and G all simultaneously because not a lot of people using Pownite in the current format. Not a lot of people using Arch Rain in the current format, and yeah, then of course Kyogre here to bring it all together for Reg G. Yeah, and then
Okay,
we do just
but
have like
Alex,
Maridon Alley here. Go ahead.
what about AV Zamazenta with a coaching user? You thought about that one?
AV Zam. You know, we already ran Grassy Seed on it. How much worse could it get? That guy starts with a +1 defense, and you get a +1
Yo, that's a base.
plus special defense. Like, you're just like literally Eviolite. That's awesome.
That's
You
I'm
do
awesome.
like
writing this
under
one down.
restrict?
This is my next GC team.
It's got so many good
AV?
moves besides body press that you want to click.
Well, you
like...
just run body press and sleep talk. Like, what's the problem?
I was gonna say maybe Snarl, but you're right. Yeah, why even bother?
Well, yeah, true. You could run crunch. Like, you would definitely catch some Shadow Riders off guard if you did this in the GC.
You're gonna have to run attack investment to get that KO though. Does Zam get attack when it forms up? It gets its shield.
I don't know the answer to that. I think it
Stone
might
Edge for Volk. Now we're cooking. See, the Volks think they're safe. The Hearth Flames think they're safe.
You're not. You don't even lose to Heartflame because you're not a Steel type. It's great. It's just so good.
I see no issues.
No, it doesn't. The attack stays the same.
The same? Okay. All right. I see no no downsides. Okay. Perfect. I don't know if we want to spend too much time talking about this one, but you can go watch this one on Liberty Note if you want to. But there was a best of one bracket tournament held on a Tuesday in Japan. It was kind of amazing. I definitely watched some of this one, but it was because there was a holiday. By the way, for people that were wondering, it was just like I was watching this late at night here on the West Coast, and I was like, it was late night Monday. I'm just like, there's no way they got this many people together on a random Tuesday in Japan. But it turns out that it's like kind of like their President's Day. I don't know what was it called. I'd have to look it up, but it was a holiday. Regardless, though, won by boring Shadow Rider. Rhyperior got second. Moltres, I did make fun of VSM for this one because I said he could never cook that hard with his Zamazenta team. But he's run the other Moltres, but not that one. That one's crazy.
That's true.
Also, with Chiyu, like double fire? Is it really? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good Zama matchup, so it's probably for the mirror.
I guess so. I mean, Galar Moltres can't do that one. It's kind of like Volcarona in a sense, then, I guess. But
yeah.
Honestly, what are the better traits? Because I'm struggling to think of the better traits. Because like Tailwind, we got that. We have Rage Powder on top of that. We resist body press on both. Like what is actually doing better?
Since it's a flying type, next to Wide Guard, you're immuning Ice Rider.
Sure. That's kind of funny.
It might be running Air Slasher, a flying move, so it could be better into Ursh. Because you don't really want to Surging Strikes it, and because like it has flame bodies, so you're gonna burn yourself. Probably also has a Hellbent, I would guess. And then if you don't hit it with Ursh, then it's just gonna kill you with Air Slash or Hurricane or whatever.
The Giratina team was also pretty funny. There was Giratina team. So, anyways, though, what's that?
Giratina, that guy's never been good.
No, I still don't think it is. Still no.
There's
All
also a
right, so
Rhyperior.
yes, Rhyperior literally runner up. Insane. I guess like maybe part of the Miraidon matchup. You know, classic Lightning Rod plus Fairy Terra. Maybe what else is it good into? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, so San Juan is this coming weekend in Puerto Rico. And there is going to be a stream for this one. It looks like it's going to be like, not like the official stream, but I do believe somebody is going to be streaming it. Caribbean Gamer, maybe on their channel. So that'll be fun to watch. We'll probably have some results to talk about next week. We don't know if anybody in Tub in particular is going to this one, but there's definitely some NA players going to this one. Notably, a special event. So not any prize money to be won at this one, but I can't remember. Do you get... Yeah, you still get an invite. Still get an invite to win. So someone's getting an auto qual this weekend in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And yeah, other than that, we'll talk about that one more next week when we have the results. Let's go ahead and get into making this tier list because I know that it's going to take some time, and we have to, weigh in on every single Pokemon from Arbok to Vileplume. So
Yeah.
I will go ahead and make a tier below. And if we want more tiers, we can absolutely, figure that part out, make it happen. But I'm going to make like a DNF tier down here. It's not readable, so I'll change the color.
No, you can just make it not readable. It's chill.
It doesn't need to be readable. And there's a lot of Pokemon that can go in there, like Blastoise. Charizard, coming off of a hot Reg H, I feel like we don't really need to discuss that one. Raichu, I did see a tweet recently.
There's no way you're putting all the Pokemon in here, right? We don't need to do that. We can just skip them.
You're right. We can just skip past them. But then I have to filter them. I'll do it without talking.
It takes so much longer. It takes so much longer. You gotta skip past them anyways because they follow up.
Venusaur is like a B. Maybe.
Yeah, I think Venusaur might be B right now. People are putting the Covert Cloak set on or Sash set on Sun teams, and the main thing is that it's like an offensive Amoonguss. I know that we've seen it that way in past years plenty of times, but its typing is really good into what we like to call the Goon Squad. Really solid into Raging Bolt, Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Urshifu. It might look like it wouldn't be good into Incineroar. Usually they're running safety goggles. Usually not running Flare Blitz. Most Incins don't run Flare Blitz in Regulation G. So grass types, surprisingly hard for that core to KO. So and then it can just kind of like rain down Sleep Powder, super effective Sludge Bombs. Grass, not a very solid move. Yeah. I think B seems right for it, but we might have to move the rest of these guys. I guess we should put those ones in their spots now. Let's start with them because they're like already on there from the meme. I don't think Sneason's actually guaranteed. I think Urshifu's
Intin's probably S as well.
Incin S. I'm okay with throwing Moon A, and then Sneasler
C?
D.
D? I think the Hoj team is real. I also think that the Hoj team is just as real as the Venusaur team, and I would put Venusaur in C as well. I don't think it's all that good.
I think I also like Venusaur C. I don't think Venusaur is like that potent. But yeah.
Like for me, there's been one Venusaur team this format. It's the Koraidon Venusaur team that Zach Weed did well with. I think that it's about as good as the one Sneasler team in this format. It's playable. I would expect to. You should maybe know your line into it, but it's not going to be that common.
Mm-hmm. What about a Lowland Persian though?
Nope.
Next. It just gets outsped by Caloric Shadow. It doesn't matter.
I played Rock Dog. I played against a Rock Dog at Worlds, so it goes in D tier.
Okay.
I still don't think it's very good. I'm trying to find the next good Pokemon so we can actually start talking about something real. Golden Go just shows up out of nowhere. What? We go through a lot of Gen 1 and then Goldie appears. So
that's a D.
Is Goldie? I think B seems accurate. It could be worse than B.
D as in dog.
For gold?
There's no
What-
team that's running it in the current format.
When's the last time you saw a gold echo? Be real. Be real.
It did have a day 2 at Worlds, but I mean, I guess it is on this team. But I've never. When did they
Oh,
even
I
bring
forgot
The
this
about that.
on?
I
tournament
forgot
that
about
we
that.
just saw, the tournament that just happened this
Okay.
weekend.
When did they bring this
Yeah.
on? I've never seen them bring it.
Good into Ice Rider. Not that Chi-Yu isn't also good into Ice Rider. It's decent into Zam.
I've never seen them bring it into Zam because it gets pinned by Chen Pao.
It has. So it's funny because it only has 2 finishes, and there was also one that got 37th place at Rio de Janeiro regionals, which I think I didn't even get. Maybe didn't even get points. This is literally Goldengo's only finish since the format rotated.
I think it can go
Uh,
and see, but it is
Sure.
very
Yeah,
funny
it's same boat,
that,
right? It's good
that
in
it
one
didn't
team.
win. Okay, now
We'll give it credit.
Wo Chien. Wo Chien has not been seen much play since its very strong finish at NAIC last year. I don't know if it quite deserves to be in C. Is it C or is it D?
It's probably still C. I think it's fine.
It's better than these other guys. Yeah,
That's
better
true.
than the shit we
Comparing
put
it to
in
the
D.
guys below, I would have to agree. Chen Pao, easy C, I would say, for Chen Pao.
I mean, yes, C for Shen Pao.
Probably A.
It's
Probably
probably A. Probably. I mean, I don't know if we're doing ordering. Probably not. Also, because it's yelling me and not letting me do ordering. There we go. But yeah, I feel like it's better than Roaring Moon. So if we ended up like actually making an A plus or something like that, I could probably put it above Roaring Moon. And so we'll see if we get into the weeds with that later. Ting Lu is a Pokemon
Is it
that's
better
been
than
having
Roaring
some.
Moon?
I think so. I think so.
Moon has more applicability on other restricteds because Zama is really the only one where you see POW. Like POW has sane usage on other
I'm
restricteds,
Kyogre now.
but it's not that common. I mean, it's not on the most popular versions of any other restricted. I mean,
So
it has
was
seen
on.
some usage on Ice Rider, and I
Mhm.
think it's seen some usage on Shadow Rider as well. But like, Roaring Moon has like significant usage on a lot of other archetypes. Like, I mean, it's Kyogre and Shadow or Ice Rider mostly, but you see it on Shadow Rider as well, and you see it on have seen it on other teams.
I think Miraidon teams are starting to use it. There's like an offense version of Miraidon that some people are starting to. How far in are we? We're like kind of just getting started. Jody, we put a lot of dog shit ones in the bottom, but we're really only like 8 Pokemon in actuality. Anyways, Chen Pao also is finding its way onto, or I guess this is like based off of what I'm seeing on Ladder. It's not a team that's like been super public lately, but I think it's probably because it's UIC is Shadow Rider. I feel like there's a Shadow Rider build that's going around on the high ladder that people are using Chen Pao on. So Chen Pao Shadow Rider, Chen Pao Miraidon. Some people even use it with like it's honestly just it's used with almost everything except maybe Koraidon. I think even the Groudon teams sometimes ran it. So yeah, I don't know. It's like very solid, I guess.
It is funny that Chen Pao and Roaring Moon are fighting for the last lot on the Kyogre teams.
Wait, we really
but-
do get 2 Roaring Moons. Is it just because he glitched or because I put him on there earlier?
I think it might have glitched.
No, he's just there twice. All right, well, he's going in DNF as well for trying to because you can't have 2 carts, Roaring Moon. I'm sorry, but that's not allowed. You can't double dip into the tier list. Chi-Yu, I kind of threw on there really quick. Oh, and Ting Lu, we didn't do Ting Lu either. So let's do Ting Lu quick.
I think you got it right. Yeah, Ting Lu is like
Yeah.
the perfect B tier Pokemon. We saw it on that. We mostly see it with Dindozo. We occasionally see it otherwise, but it really is kind of a it's not quite good enough, but it does do stuff in the format. And yeah, like I said, it mostly is paired with exactly Dindozo for that Ting Lu Dindozo combination, and so I think B is perfect for it. It's like a
I feel
B
like
tier
he
Pokemon.
hates this guy and he's gonna want it in C.
Oh, I think B is fine.
B is fine.
I
All
hate
right.
him,
Wow.
but
Okay.
I think it's
Okay.
fine.
You do hate him though. You do hate him though.
I think that guy sucks, but like it's fine.
All right, Chi Yu, probably A. I almost would put it above, but it's not on that many teams, I guess. Like, I think it's just not used a lot, but when it is, it's like, it's pretty potent. So it probably just feels like it's in a same spot
Wait,
as
really? I'm a
Chen Pao
Chiyu
right now.
hater. I think that guy sucks, but I think it's A.
Well, we saw it on the team that won with Maridon. We saw it on Zamazenta teams. I know ESM doesn't like it on Zama teams, but Fede
I
Campo
ran
used
it
it to
at
get top
Worlds.
4.
I ran it
Oh,
at
okay.
Worlds, and I think
So,
it sucks.
Okay.
That's my
And
opinion.
then
I've been using it a lot.
we also saw it on Koraidon teams. It sees play
Yeah,
on the
it's good
Koraidon.
on
Yeah,
stuff. It's good on
it's
stuff.
good. It's good Pokemon.
oh, that's the wrong. Yeah. No, it's getting a lot of good finishes. I feel like it's probably just A.
It is
Valiant,
definitely
Valiant's
A.
super niche, and so I mean, it got second at Worlds. I don't think anybody's really been using it since then. I would put it in B in terms of like my opinion on its strength. But if you wanted to fight me for C because it's not showing up, I would be happy to put it there.
I think it's B.
I
I would put it
I
in
think it's B.
S, honestly, if it was CTS, but and OTS is
True,
probably B.
true, dude. This guy's a goat of GCs.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
walking
in
weight.
open team sheet, it really is a one trick where it's only on Ice Rider teams, but in open team sheet, in closed team sheet, it does see a lot more play. So I think splitting the difference and putting it in B is pretty fair.
I came here, saw Alolan Muck at the lowest tier. This is heresy. It's not even getting ranked. I don't even want to talk about Alolan Muck, all right? I put that one in there silently, and guess what? Nobody else spoke up because that Pokemon and that strategy is so stupid. Walking Wake. Is it D or is it C? I think it's D.
D?
ESM?
It's
ESM?
it's
Speak up.
it's
Okay, at least whatever is the highest you're willing to put it.
it's
I'm advocating for it.
C, man. It's like it's on some Koraidon teams, which is about as good as Wochen being on some Kyogre teams, right?
This guy's
I guess
broken.
people said that people are asking why Roaring Moon is there. I guess we didn't talk about it enough, but it's being used on more and more archetypes. Oh, why is Roaring Moon down there? Yeah, there was 2 of them. He got DQ'd. Ultimately, when I post the like screenshot, we're not going to include the DNF because nobody's looking for my opinions on Arbok. You know,
Wait, they're
keep
not?
picking on Arbok. Where exactly did they rank Arbok in the DNF tier? Was it at the top or the bottom? So
Okay,
Roaring
so
Moon, it's on. Shadow Rider uses it. It started out mostly being used on Kyogre. Some Shadow Rider builds use it now. Ice Rider just won a tournament, and I think people might try it out on some of the, maybe not all of the restricted. Probably not like like Qianpao, which I guess it is sharing a tier with it, but it seems like it's doing very well. It's just got a very strong typing into the metagame, resisting Fire, Water, Grass, and Astral Barrage. It's a pretty good kit.
So
All right.
I want to speak a little bit about why it's being used so much and just, like kind of the reason why it's so strong in the current meta as opposed to like where it was like it wasn't being used previously is that one of the main reasons is that its matchup to CSR used to be kind of shaky. When CSR was first introduced, it was mostly being or like sorry, when CSR was first broke into the metagame, it was mostly being used as a um with Terra Fairy, and because of Terra Fairy, its matchup into Roaring Moon was honestly like pretty solid. So like it didn't have that many issues. But now with CSR mostly having Dark or Normal, and there are still Fairy in there in the mix, but with Darker Fairy, Moon is really annoying to it, and so they kind of have to make a decision between those. And then also some other effects is like Hearthflame has gained a lot of popularity because Hearthflame is really good into like the physical defensive. Hearthflame has been found to be good into like Zama and Ice Rider, and because of that, that's also a bit another reason why Moon has become better because it just has such a good matchup into like the Fire, Water, Grass guys. So a lot of the common partners that you would like for Moon and also for it to fight against are all like very strong in the meta right now. Like Urshifu, Hearthflame, these are all mons that like Moon likes to play with and against. So it just has gotten a lot better in the meta because of that.
Blind coverage is
Okay.
a real premium.
Now for my pushback. Zero Roaring Moon top cut Merida and zero Roaring Moon top cut VR. Has the meta adjusted already after San Antonio? Maybe people are overcompensating for it.
Yeah. No.
That's tough. That's tough.
I think it's still A tier for sure. Like it's certainly better than the B tier Pokemon, but I think that it hit the perfect metagame for it in San Antonio, and now people are going to be a little more ready for it.
I think the Pokemon
And
is just
Birmingham,
very
it
good.
got second in Birmingham too. It is very good.
I just think
But
it's very good. Yeah.
you can only cover for so many things when you're team building, and now Roaring Moon is higher up on the list of things that people are choosing to cover for, which is why it's DNF. Exactly. Thank you, Mike.
All right. I'm
You
I'm
put
happy
Red
with
on
it
in
in
B.
A, but yeah, maybe it should be demoted down to B. It's tough. It's tough.
No, it's A.
It's definitely A.
It got second at a regional and first at a it got 2 second places and a first at a regional in this format. It's definitely A.
All right, Adi, ride on.
It's a D tier Pokemon, but like it's a Pokemon. I'd use
We
it.
could put it in there.
Uh,
Iron Leaves, dude. People were
it's
using
better
it.
than
Making it
Raichu.
D
I'll
as
tell
well.
you that. No. Iron
Sinister.
Leaves is C. Iron Leaves is C.
Iron Leaves has
Um,
D tier results, but it's a D tier Pokemon.
Well,
I think it's
Iron
D.
Leaves is in the same boat as all of the other Pokemon in C tier, which is it has had results on exactly one team. Right? That's kind of my classification for C tier is if he doesn't have any flexibility, but it's used on one team, and that team has gotten good results. I think that's a C tier Pokemon.
What is the best result that team has
It
gotten?
has never scared me. I've never once been scared of this Pokemon. Like when I saw
Bro,
Shilyang's Wo-Chien team, I was like, dang, this is actually pretty strong. That Dozo Golden Go team, I'm a little bit annoyed looking at that one. Hoj with a Sneasler, I'm like, that thing might just mess me up. I'm not scared of Iron Leaves, dude. I'm never scared of that thing.
Pro Man, the best finish is Pro Man's top 16 finish at Birmingham, where he went 11-1 in Swiss, or 10-1 in Swiss. So, yeah. It's better than Raichu. It's better than all these guys. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. It could be at the top of D. I still think it's D for dog. Sinisha, I want to put it in here, even though I think it doesn't actually have results. I got me 10th in the GC, but this is for like open team cheap best of 3. So
no, it does.
Okay,
it does have results. It not in the latest. It got top 8 at Rio. We talked to the guy Pedro, who used it.
Oh yes. That one was cool.
And it had some other Terapagos finishes, I think, in the first edition of Reg G as well.
Okidogi is on exactly one team, and so I think it goes down here in D for Dogi.
D for Dogi.
Graspon, I would put in C. I don't think that it's that
might
strong.
put it in D, but it's probably C. Just based on results.
If you guys want to put it in D, I will not fight you.
I think that guy sucks, but based on results, it's probably in.
This is where ESM's gonna yell at me because I'm putting Gouger like low, and he's gonna want it in like A tier, dude.
Gouger. I mean, it's. I won't fight you if you want to put it in D, but it's probably C.
It's a C. It's a C. It's like a very good Pokemon on one solid team. Right? Same deal. You're not going to use it outside of Groudon, except for I guess ESM. He might.
The Bullet Seed Teal Master set is cool. It is pretty cool. I snuck Arch into D. People are kind of using it, but I don't really.
But yeah,
nah,
it's probably in D. It's actually not that bad, but
I could let it earn its way into D or C.
You can't be the 5th best Pokemon on the 5th best Kyogre team and be a C tier Pokemon. I'm sorry, it's not how it works.
Raging Bolts, does it go all the way up to S? Is the question.
I think it's A. I don't think it's better than POW.
There's been a big resurgence in like Assault Vest Raging Bolt. People are putting it on a couple of different teams, on Ice Rider, on Zama, and maybe I'm not able to think of another one right now. It's not really used on Kyogre. It's used on Sun, and Sun is doing decent for itself right now. So I'm not that person that says like I love Raging Bolt. It feels like I have a second restricted anymore. Like it's good.
Dude,
it's
no,
good.
It is definitely not.
But I do think it could be S. But I do feel like I could put it in S.
It got 4 of top 8 and 8 of top 16 at San Antonio. It really popped off. I don't know. I think it's either top of A or bottom of S. I think it's kind of in the middle.
Yo, Crown, Iron Crown,
Iron Crown. That's my guy.
That's ESM.
What do you think about Iron Crown?
I think it's really good. I would still probably put it in C though. I mean, based on my opinion of them on, it's probably in B, but like based on
Mhm.
results, it's in C.
I think it's probably C based off of results. Like it is being used on that 45 mice team that they made, but that
Mhm.
it just got like a solid result. I think their best finish for it was top 64, which is like it's
Well, and
solid.
it's also used on the Riley team.
Yeah,
Oh, true. Funny
it's
guy.
used on the Riley team, and I was talking to Justin before the tournament, and I watched some replays, and I really think that people are kind of sleeping on Indeedee Iron Crown
I
as a
think it's
mode.
really strong. I've been playing with it a lot, and I think it's very good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like irrespective of your restricted Pokemon, I think that has the that combination has the ability to power through teams that
Well,
are not ready for it.
I actually think its biggest issue is that it doesn't fit that well with that many restricteds. That's like part of the thing is that because it shares typings with like a lot of the top restricteds, like you don't really want to run it with Shadow Rider or Ice Rider because it shares that psychic typing. You don't really want to run it with like there's like a number of other restricteds where like it doesn't like the fit is not super seamless, which is its main issue. But I think
Mm-hmm.
it is very strong if you can make it work somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently just getting us set up for the next one because I'm scanning for Galar wheezing, and I'm not 100% sure I see it. If it did miss the list, then oh, there's another Iron Crown, dude. This guy's gonna end up in DNF tier. Why are you cheating the game, Iron Crown? So let's talk about wheezing as if it's like both forms or something like that.
Sure. I mean, they're
And
basically the same, although Fairy is the only, or the Gallery is the one that's seeing usage right now. But
yes, so um, yeah, we'll treat it like that one, and then if I find that one later, I'll probably end up
yeah,
removing
it's a
it.
B tier. The team is very strong, but it only makes appearance on one team.
It is just like the definition of matchup fish in the current format, and I like to say that about Dondozo a lot. I think that it's honestly pretty true about Dondozo teams almost always, is that, you know,
Yeah.
they come in when they're unexpected, they do well, and then anybody that's prepared for them is just going to put it in its place. And I hate Dondozo because that is like what it encourages, but maybe that's saved for when we actually get to talking about Dondozo. Right now, it's currently used on a Dondozo team, Shadow Rider version of Dondozo, not the Maridon version. But
Yep.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
potent when you don't have anything for it. It will just win, like on its own, quite simply.
Yeah, and
Um,
Weezing synergy with Shadow Rider is very disgusting. So
Audi Electabuzz, our beloved,
Put it in
not doing
C.
so good for it
It's
lately.
it's
I like it in C
probably
tier.
it's probably D, but like I'd be okay if you guys want to put it in C.
D off results, C off of I love this guy. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
that's my
Honestly, yes.
baby.
Like
Does Magmar get ranked?
you can put it in D. Like it's just as good as Raichu.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I put Raichu in there because I saw a funny tweet on Twitter. I guess
Ditto is
tweets and
probably like a
tweets.
B.
Ditto is good. I think B is probably right. I don't know if it's quite deserving of A tier. It's not like every team should be thinking about running Ditto, but the archetypes that like there are a few archetypes that run Ditto and they run it well. So
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
Ditto's main issue right now is that it's somewhat inflexible because of the restriction that you need to have both of your slots be able to switch out. So, like, for example, like Zama is a archetype that would love to run Ditto since it would solve, like, in theory, solves a lot of its matchup issues. But due to due to Zama's like inflexibility and the slots, it's hard for you to actually be able to position Ditto well. So,
well, why don't you
Ditto is
just
like
leave
on.
your Zama across from the right Pokemon?
True,
It sounds like a
but
skill
like
issue.
so Ditto's like on paper value is really high, and I would say like it's an A tier Pokemon by that metric. But like in terms of in practice and like how it actually fits on like the archetypes it wants to, I would say it's closer to a B tier.
You know what we need is
Hmm.
like I just need a I don't want the DNF tier. I don't even want to look at it. I need the option to send Pokemon into the void. Like I just need to like be able to like
Delete
banish
them.
them. Um Gyapdos. Does it even get ranked? I don't know. I feel like maybe not.
No,
Maybe not.
never seen it.
Zap same. Moltres, we just saw it. I think it still goes unranked. That was just one tournament and it was a closed team sheet. So D Knight though, it does get ranked. It did just win
I'm okay
Merida,
with C.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I keep getting mixed up because it says Medina, which is just a player's name. Maybe also a place, but
Yeah, I'm okay
um,
with C. That's for this guy.
yeah, C seems accurate. Maybe B. It's kind of funny. Maybe we can put it next to Golden Go, and then if that team keeps popping off, maybe we'll reassess them together. Megadium, I can quickly move past that. What's the next
I,
relevant Pokemon
I'm looking.
glance here?
There's not none of these
Are
next
we?
ones.
Oh, are we like in a
Miracle.
serious dry period here, like a
Yeah,
drought?
yeah. P2 you can stick in D, I guess. I've never really seen it, but
No,
it's
I don't.
fine.
I don't see Politoed. Oh, Pluff. You might have scrolled over Pluff
Oh,
because
yeah,
Pluff
yeah. I
and
did not.
Umbreon probably get rated. Pluff is probably
D.
C because of usage. Whoa, I don't
It
I
know.
might be B.
guess
It might be B.
it's
And
not B, man. It's not B.
no, in terms of strength, I think
Oh,
it's
in
probably
terms
B.
of in terms like it's the archetype defining Pokemon. It's the only reason Groudon really is doing well, like, to be honest.
And it's got more
Um
finishes than Valiant for sure.
That's true, but like it's getting top 8 at a regional equivalent to getting second at Worlds. Like
In terms of
uh
like the timeline, yeah, somewhat. I know that like in terms of like in the moment, like we're making a tier list about now. This
Right,
isn't
right.
like, and so like dated results. We're playing towards a different metagame, and so like I'm giving Val the credit that it deserves for getting second at Worlds, but what has it done since? Not a lot, unfortunately. If you want me to put
Also,
Val down in C with Jumpluff, maybe I could hear you for that. But I could also put both together in B.
I think
that
Jumpluff also has had it's not only just like a one-off result. Like, it's been used, like, a lot of people have been using Jumpluff, right? Like, it's not
and
a singular result that's been carrying it. Like, it's top 8 at a regional, but like also at that same regional it got top 32, I think, and then there's been a number of online tournaments where it's done well. Like, it's it's very real. Like, in terms of um an archetype, like, Groudon is really only super relevant because of
that
Jumpluff.
that's not true because the other Groudon team, which is the Gouging Fire team,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think is
true.
scarier, right? And so
Well, that
and
team
I think that
hasn't gotten results, major results in an offline tournament yet. So, like,
yeah, it did. It's
it's
the same. It's San Antonio, or was it San Antonio or Birmingham? No, it got top 8 at Birmingham regionals.
oh, okay, okay.
And
My bad.
and the jump off also got top 8 at Birmingham regionals, and then I guess Carson also did well with the jump off at San Antonio regionals.
Yeah,
So I guess they're
it got
pretty equivalent.
top 8 at San Antonio.
Yeah, so I guess they're pretty equivalent. I'm okay. I'm
Mhm.
okay with B tier, but I really think that I'm more scared of facing the Gouging Fire Groudon team than I am the Pluff Groudon team.
Oh, Pluff every time. You're crazy.
No, the fluff one is much scarier.
Um, who is scared of gouging fire, dude? Nobody. That guy sucks. I hate him. I wish him dead. Anyways, I'm kidding. Umbreon. Umbreon is very niche, coming off of a top 4 at San Antonio. I don't know if
See,
it's got a lot of other things
It's
going
C.
on. Yeah, C seems
It
right.
got top 4 at Los Angeles regionals last year, and then I think Kian got top 32 at Worlds, if I recall correctly, with the same team, maybe top 64 at Worlds with that team. So the Zacian, it's kind of real on Zacian.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the worst.
That's
Pokemon.
true.
Whoa! Are you just putting Altaria in DNF like that? That thing made day 2 at Worlds.
Wait, oh, actually, I played against that team recently. It's like a little bit real.
Okay, you can go in D. I'm happy to put Altaria there.
It's actually very scary. I don't know if you guys have played against it before.
Fortress. That's true. People have been using Fortress, but I don't think it deserves to get ranked.
I'm happy to leave it
Smeargle.
at DNF.
Smeargle. How high are
Okay.
you willing to go with Smeargle? Because
If you're gonna
Billy's
put
team,
Pluff,
William.
if you're gonna put Pluff in B tier, Smeargle is more annoying than Jumpluff, and it has just as good results as Jumpluff. I think it's a B tier Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely B at least. It's either B or A, but I'm okay with
Mhm.
putting it in B.
I don't think it's quite A in terms of like results and usage is the problem. I'm with you there in
Yeah.
terms of like A and like strength, but like people just aren't using it, and a lot of it does stem from like Urshifu water being so annoying for it, and people already having
Right.
answers like Spore isn't as good when there's a lot of ogre puns as well. But
Right.
I think that the right team could that like pressures out I guess I was about to say, like, why aren't more people using this on Sun? And then it's like, well, because they use Jump Bluff on Sun. So I guess there's
Right.
that.
Did
But
you
there's
know?
got to be the right spot for it.
Did you know there were 4 Smeargle in top cut of Merida?
Yeah, I think this guy's
4
disgusting.
There
Smeargle.
were 4 of them.
Smeargle Pagos, Smeargle Ice Rider, Smeargle Ice Rider again, and Smeargle Ice Rider again. But like honestly, all 3 different versions of Smeargle Ice Rider, which is pretty funny to see.
Mhm.
And I was
yeah,
also pretty good on CSR, but yeah, like I think it's Pokemon is very annoying.
I think that I'm definitely influenced because I've exclusively played this format in best of 1 instead of best of 3 since it restarted. But Smeargle is terrifying to face every time because you never know when it's going to bust out. Do you see that? I posted the screenshot in top. I got horn drilled by a Smeargle. It OHKO'd my Ice Rider in 1 hit.
you
First
know
try.
who that was. Then you know who that was. It's only one person. Oh, Pranav was asking about Tropius earlier in the chat, and so Pranav, it can go into the middle of DNF. Definitely not top DNF, unfortunate. I'm sorry, but it can get lost with all the Johto shitters. Johto
It
went
has
by fast because there is nothing good to see in Johto apparently.
It has Tailwind and Wide Guard. Pranav was trying to convince me to run it. You can Wide Guard and you're immune to Ice Rider permanently, and you can't get spored.
Yeah, it's definitely.
That being said, it's
the
DNF.
The Horn Drill Smeargle's gotta be the J1E special, absolutely. Entei. Entei is a real Pokemon, and it's definitely not C. It's probably just B.
Wait,
It's probably just hanging out in B.
It might be C, but I'd be happy to put it in. It's low B or high C.
Okay,
Results
I guess
are...
it did. It did get top 4 on a Koraidon team. I was going to say it's only used on Zamazenta, but I think the Koraidon finish bumps it up to to B.
Yeah, I think that it currently has an argument for B. So,
Yeah,
Suicune, it got a cut once. I think it goes in D.
Did it?
Titar!
Titar? It's like
I'm not gonna speak. I am sitting patiently. I'm sitting my. It's C. Okay.
Right now, yeah.
Oh, I'm sitting my Ice Rider down. Ice Rider, but down and listening. That's what I was gonna say. Because I could have said something else, but But anyways, Pelipper.
LA is probably an A.
I think so.
It's like low
good.
A. I could see B, but like it's doing well right now. So.
Is it doing well right now? Genuinely.
Maybe it's not doing well right now, but I've seen it on ladder a lot. So
it might be high B because it's not doing well right now.
Well, it's also it's kind of flexible. It was used on Zamazenta teams, and it was used on and it's used on Ice Rider teams, of course.
All right, never mind. I see the results. It's a B.
It's B. Yeah, no, it's peak top 32 at San Antonio. Yeah, I thought A did seem generous. I was like, I like the guy. I'm friends with him, but
yeah, I mean, it won 2 regionals and an internet in the first edition of Reg G. So like you'd think it'd be higher, but yeah, it has kind of fallen off.
And then it does have second at Worlds, talking about like older results as well. But yeah. Anyways, Sableye, does it go in D or D and F?
It's D. It's D. The
Sableye
Lugia team.
It's part of that Altaria team, dude.
Wait, no, it's also part of when are we bringing back Lost Box?
Lost Box. I played Lost Box in MPA like 2 weeks ago.
You actually brought it? What was your restricted?
Groudon.
Okay. That's
I did win, but like I probably shouldn't have won.
Torkoal in C?
Yeah, I'm okay with C.
Sure.
I think it's a core part of Hard Trick Room, so.
Milo and DNF.
Yeah.
We have a couple of. We're back to like probably dumping some in DNF. I have to ask about these
Elements, DNF.
I think Salamence is DNF. Metagross is
DNF. Latios.
Nobody's
DNF.
using Latios, right?
Nope.
No. But
Latios is good.
Much due to ESM's influence, Latios still does see usage. But where would we put it? Is it down in D currently, or does it join its T-Tar friend in C?
Probably C.
Can I even?
I don't know if I don't even know if anyone's using it right now, but.
Latios.
Diego used it to get top 16 at the World Championships, and then the only other finish since then is Aaron Brock going 8-3 at it at San Antonio. That being said, I was testing it for the GC, and I was really impressed by what it did. I thought it was really good on the Eternatus team that I was testing, and so I really do think that it has more applicability than just being on a Zamazenta team. So I'm okay with it being in C or D, yeah. But I think it's like
I'm gonna
something
put
that
it
people
in
should
D.
look into more.
There's a couple of Pokemon that I think are a tier above, like Okidogi and Latias, that are better than some of these other D ones, but not Iron Leaves, Audi. Iron Leaves deserves to be here in D. I'm standing by it. That guy's right where he belongs.
Iron Leaves is probably in Okidogi tier. I'm sorry, it is.
No.
They're the same.
Yep.
No.
I'm okay with that. I love Okidogi, but that
No,
guy
Okidogi's
is not
better,
very good.
dude. Okidogi's better. Okay. Anybody see the
God,
next
these
Pokemon that
Whoa,
looks relevant?
Bastiodon! That got top
Oh, you're
128
right. You're
in
right.
San Antonio
Shit.
Regionals.
We're keeping that guy off the list.
The
Okay, Sinnoh
Bastiodon
has
crew. No, you have to realize the number of people you make angry by putting Bastion in DNF.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
not
cool.
one.
Keep it in,
It's
keep
like
it in DNF,
it's
bro.
like 8. It's like 8 people that
Yeah,
you make
keep it in
angry. So I'm
DNF.
gonna put it in B.
And 8 people
man.
walked up to the regional and got top. The best finishing one was like top 64. Like that guy's a D tier Pokemon, or I'm sorry, a
Yeah.
DNF Pokemon.
I agree. I agree. I think that if you have a whole squad bringing a team to a regional and you get one day two, that's a failure.
Yeah, it is tragic to say. A little hard to say. Gastrodon
Uh,
did really fall off. I think it probably deserves to be in D. It's earned way more championship points than most everything else in DNF. So like because it had like a period of usage. But
When did people
oh
use
no,
that? I
our
don't
pocket
remember.
up
It
to
was-
4.
it was on the Gastro was on the Juanma Koraidon team, and I think he must have dropped it. I haven't seen it since then.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think it's
even
D.
remember it, but sure, I'm okay with putting it in D. It's probably fine.
He got top 32 at NAIC.
Okay. These Pokemon are all bad.
I don't think
Yeah.
Bronzong deserves a placement or Garchomp or
No.
Lucario. Toxicroak, I'm sorry, Jacob, but we're gonna just I don't think you're here in this stream. So Jacob, if you're not here, you don't
But
get
it
to yell
was.
at me more
It
about
was Urshifu.
Urshifu is still around. That's
Okay,
true.
but Rhydon is the better Rhyperior, right?
Whoa!
We can
Where are
leave
you putting
this in.
Rhyperior?
Yeah.
That just got second place in a Japanese tournament, dude. You can't put that in.
Yeah, I knew that one
Rhydon's
was
better,
coming.
right?
I'm sorry.
That one.
Second place in a Terra Rune is more impressive than top 128 at its San Antonio regionals.
No,
We're all
no.
did on a DNF, so. Okay, Gallade. That's the real
Gallade
one.
gets ranked.
D.
How
maybe.
highly does it get ranked?
It's probably just a D.
Adi?
I don't know. I'm pulling up results to see if I can find it. Okay, Diego got top 8 at the World Championships with it, and that's it.
Yes.
That's the only finish. That's
it's probably
probably a D tier Pokemon. That's pretty good, but
Yeah. It's only
It
used
got-
on Hard Trick Room, so.
it got second on the GC. That's true. It did.
For Topo, for sure. We're mostly like making this within the context of regional open team cheap best of 3 type stuff. So,
Heatran.
Heatran.
That's a D tier Pokemon.
I used Heatran for my 10th, and it felt awful. I don't know. It did win.
I think it's decent on Pagos, but I'm not even sure it's better than like Volcarona and stuff. So like I'm happy to be proved wrong. I would say it's a D tier right now, but maybe it can be moved up to a C eventually.
Yeah, once we see some more real tournament results. VR is solid, absolutely. I mean, there's some prize money on the line. I'm going to currently put it right below Iron Leaves.
I think
Yeah.
Cresselia is a D as well. Even though I know we haven't seen much results of it with it, I've heard that people have been testing with it, and
Is it a Zama build, right, that's running it?
yeah, a Zama build that is running Cresselia, so I could see it.
Oh god.
I think that the Pokemon has some strong properties, so.
I played that at a local back in the first part of Regulation G. I went to time against that.
Also, funnily enough,
He never ends.
the team of the week right now for all the Battle Stadium streamers is a like Rayquaza team that features Cresselia. There's like a choice.
Oh, really?
It's not choice band. It's like a choice. Actually, there's choice band on the Tinglu, but
Oh yeah.
yeah. Anyways, it has a Cresselia. Okay, who's the next guy that needs to get actually ranked? Look ahead for
Whimsicott.
me,
Probably
right?
Whimsy.
Okay,
Whimsy.
so
Whimsy is
Whims-
A at
I
minimum.
think it should be A. It's not used on
probably
a
not
lot of
S.
archetypes is the thing. It's not
Yeah.
used on many. It
But
might
it
be
is
able to,
on the
but
best team in the format.
Crest is viable on Merida teams as well because it has Levitate and Ally Switch. I'm sorry, Adam. I don't know if that's a reason to run it, but it's funny. Maybe for the GC. Maybe for the GC. But is it going to be better than Fari Giraffe in most contexts? Probably not.
Yeah, so you're using it because it has Levitate, because Farigiraf also has Ally Switch.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the context of Levitate Ally Switch is for Lando, right? You can dodge Earth Power,
But it has
they just run
Sandsear.
Sandsear. Yeah, they just
Make
run
it Sandsear.
Sandsear now. Sandsear. Yeah, I mean, this would be in the context of closed team sheet, but in open team sheet, you could catch someone with that. Does Pelican deserve to be ranked?
Yeah, that's a D tier
D.
Pokemon.
It's a D tier.
It might be a
Pokemon
D
for
tier
sure.
Pokemon.
It's seen
I
some play
tested
on
with
like
it. It's
Torkoal
actually
Ice Rider
not
teams.
bad. It's not bad, but it's not good.
Crocodile won the
I
world
do think that
championships.
I would rather run Smeargle on almost every single one of the teams that runs Hilligan, but yeah, it's fine.
It's faster than Booster Flutter. Amogus is an S tier Pokemon.
I think so. Yeah.
Amoonguss is an
It's
S
had
tier
a
Pokemon.
huge resurgence in Reg G Part 2. I think it was very strong at the beginning of the format, like very beginning of Reg G, and then fell off a lot, and then in Reg G Part 2, it's been very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of usage. Yeah.
I think it's there's not a ton to say about it's obviously a very good one, and yeah, the Tang Gang victory, a very solid showing for it too. So
Yeah, I think it's better than Bolt.
and Amoonguss is
I
or
would,
not Amoonguss, something that's like a post Worlds development because like we're like we haven't done a supporting Reg G Pokemon tier list since Worlds, but I don't think Amoonguss was run that often on Zam pre Worlds, not as often. Usually Rillaboom.
not at all, actually.
Now a lot of people are running Among Us on the Zam teams. So
yeah.
All right, Michael, what do you think about Shandy?
It's a D tier, I guess. Kabalion actually is probably a D tier. It has D tier results, actually.
It got 12th at Japan Nats. That's the one result it has.
It has D tier results.
No, it doesn't. It has DNF results.
Oh, it went 8-3 at Birmingham Regionals. That's something.
Yeah. They run the Electric Seed Iron Defense on Maridon. There's a team that runs it.
No, they shouldn't. They're not supposed to.
Bro, I'm just telling you what I've seen, man. They're just they want to play double restricted and they put the fucking Electric Seed on their guy and they're liping that it's a Zama.
It's hanging on D, fine. Hoodra doesn't get ranked, right? I don't think
no. I mean, Thundy doesn't get ranked either, does it?
I honestly don't know.
Has been Thundy in best of one. I think it's seen some play. I feel like I saw it in the list of teams from Japan Nats, from Liberty Note.
Can you find it? Was if it earned points.
It qualified for Japan Nationals.
Hold on, did it earn points? It did not earn points at San Antonio. I think this mon should not be ranked.
It got top 4 at the Bologna special event last year, and then with Hippolyte with
last year.
Silver.
Yeah, that's
last year. But then it also did well in the GC. It's a D tier Pokemon. That's all I'm saying.
All right, DNF is also fine.
In terms of I think I want to put Thundurus in DNF and disrespect it. Somebody can make me regret that.
It had some results in the GC. I mean, to be fair, so did Golurk, right? So I don't know how much that means. So did Shiftry. But
all right, Xiao did just win that Japanese tournament again, best one close team sheet. But some people do use it sometimes in other ones. I think it's probably C. Still a very annoying Shadow Rider partner, but just not used that often because most people would rather have an Urshifu. You can run both, but most people would rather have an Urshifu.
Xiao is less consistent, but I think what it brings to the table is very powerful. It's just super flippy because you can just die with it very easily. Urshifu just one-shots it and whatnot. So it's strong, but you have to lean into the HO part of it, and I think people aren't super willing to do that right now. So based on usage, it's probably C.
Volcarona is a cool one. I'm curious if
I
it's
think it's
still just C or if it's
B.
actually good enough to be B.
I personally think it's B, but I'm probably biased. I'm okay with putting it in C as well. I think the Pokemon is very strong.
Let's see.
Howdy.
It did. So it finishes a top cut on a Terrapagos team at Merida and a top cut Birmingham on the Groudon team, and that's kind of it. That's all it really saw play on. Got some day twos. It got Brian Yum used it on a Kyogre team to make day two of San Antonio. Lorenzo did the same. I don't know, man. I that's like a C tier resume.
Yeah, I'm okay with putting it in C. I think fundamentally it's never really going to be that high usage because it's more so to patch up certain matchups. But I do think it's pretty strong. That being said, I'm okay with putting it in C if that's the opinion.
I don't know. It's kind of in the middle ground, right? Because two top cuts this format is more than a lot of these Pokemon have had. So I don't know.
Torn. Torn is doing well for itself right now with the Kyogre teams.
That's an A tier
Usually
Pokemon,
still
right?
not the choice over
I would,
Whimsicott.
yeah, I would still put it in B. I think overall it's worse than Whim in this format. I'm okay with low A, but I would say that Whim is like low side of A, and I would say that Torn is like the cutoff to me. Like, I think Whim is a fair bit stronger in this format.
I don't think I agree with that. Torn was very present on Calyrex Shadow teams. It's fallen off a little bit on Calyrex Shadow, but like it did win 2 regionals last year with Calyrex Shadow. And I think that its drop off has partially been because Calyrex Shadow fell off. It was very common on Specs Terrapagos teams. Again, those have kind of fallen out of favor a little bit, but it's really good there. It top cut San Antonio regionals on a Zacian team. It's top cut on it top cut Rio, or got top 16 at Rio on a Maridon team. Like it really is still. And then of course Pengi went 10-0 with it on a Kyogre team. It's still kind of on everything. It got top 4 at Merida with on a Zamazenta team. Like it's still really good. I think it's an A tier Pokemon.
I'll let it be A, but I don't know. Tricky. I'm actually more interested in the next one because the next one has been a bit interesting lately. I don't know if you would have put it in A tier.
It's probably
Pre-Worlds,
S,
but I don't know if it's S. I don't know if it's S.
It's definitely A, but like I would say it's S personally. I think Lando is broken.
It's probably not B. Looking at what B has got going on, so I
It's
think
definitely
probably
not
just
B.
A. I think it's just A.
I think it's S in terms of power.
This one's hard. This one's really hard because like I'm looking through its results. It obviously first and second at San Antonio regionals. It won Rio regionals as well with Juan's team. It got second at the World Championships. It got top 8 at the World Championships with Nubji's team. Top 8 at Birmingham regionals with Junchi's team, which I guess is they're kind of similar. They're all on Ice Rider teams.
Also, in terms of usage, it's never going to be as high as like some of these other glue Pokemon, right? Like it's inherently, if it's as powerful as Incin, it will never be the same usage as Incin because Incin provides like a more widespread utility package where Lando you need to support it. So like the fact that it's having these results, like you can't judge it on the same like usage spectrum, I guess, as like support Pokemon like Amogus or Incin.
No, but I think it's an A tier because most of its results have come on Ice Rider. The 2 results that I see that aren't on exactly Ice Rider teams are Henry getting top 8 at Nats on his like hyper offensive Kyogre team with it, and then it got top 16 at the Merida special event with the Zacian team that I mentioned earlier, and that's kind of it. So I think that because it's kind of limited to exclusively Ice Rider, at least recently, I'm think it's reasonable in A.
About to put Rillaboom in DNF. Whoops. Going a little too fast.
Chestnut D. I'm down with D with all these guys you have lined up. Chestnut.
I didn't know if like
Talonflame.
Talonflame even deserved to be ranked, but I can't remember like if people are using it. I know that we saw it on that Terrapagos team for the team that got top 8 in
It got points, I'm pretty sure.
Rio. It got top 8.
Rio.
I heard it. Apparently, it's good into Arabega. It's like very annoying.
The
Right.
only other person to do well with it was since like I'm going all the way back to NAIC. The only other person to do well with it was Z getting getting ninth place at NAIC on a Maridon team. I guess Zach Thornburg made day 2 worlds with it on a Zamazenta team.
These look bad. These look bad. This guy goes in under.
I don't know. That seems like a D tier resume to me. Talent flame. It's got enough results that it's a D tier Pokemon.
Oh my gosh, fine.
Yeah.
It's you know what? If Chestnut's there, it's like better.
Bro, we have a Raichu in D tier, man. I've never seen a Raichu in my life.
That's true. That's true.
Pikachu has better results than Raichu.
That's true. That's actually true. Where is Pikachu's not on the list though? Pikachu's not on the damn list. Araquanid. It's like the classic like I'm so good at Ice Rider and I have Wide Guard, but do you actually want to put me on the team? No.
It also double resists Zama and Koraidon. So
And Ursh.
And Ursh. I played a few recently, and it was like not that bad. Like I just went to a local, and there was a lot of them there. But I'm okay with putting in D. I'm also okay with putting in DNF.
I think it can go D. I think it can go in D. Serena, a solid C. It's just like not. It doesn't have enough use cases for it right now. Results are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Are they on the Pengy team? It's on the Pengy
It's just the Pengy team, right?
I'm okay with putting in C though.
Yeah, I don't think it belongs in D. Like that team is annoying, and a lot of it is because of Serena.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Serena
Comfy
gives you
probably DNF.
Comfy's a D. It went 15-0 at Bologna, and
oh my god, I forgot about the 15-0.
And it is a staple in Lost Box, right? So that is like if stabilized in D, I think it's similar.
But nobody's playing Lost Box. What do you mean? You can't just say it's a staple in an archetype that doesn't exist.
People, no. People are playing it. They're not doing well with it. But people are playing it.
Adi, how many 2/4s can you find for me on Lab Mouse right now with Comfy? Please, if you
want me to?
If it's
I'll find it.
If it's in the Reg G runback, if you could find 6+ 2/4s for Comfy.
Oh yeah. Let me find it right now. I see a lot of NAIC and a lot of Bologna. Hold up. That's because there's that many people. San Antonio, Nicholas Herrera went 2-6 with it. There were multiple at the World Championships. Sorry. Multiple people went 3-5 with it. I see a 2-6 at Birmingham, a 2-4 at Birmingham. I found at least 3.
That's a lot of people using Comfy, dude. They really shouldn't be, but they are. Official? Give me official.
People love it. People really like it. Is the thing, and it is around. It's a real thing, and obviously,
dude, I said 2-4, and the one person I see on it using at 2 and 4 is the only person to use it with Sableye. That's beautiful. Honestly, poetry. Put it in D. Oranguru.
That's probably a DNF. I haven't seen that Pokemon.
No, I don't think I have.
It's exclusively in the best of 1 with the Combine Maridon team. It's very fun.
Yeah.
What about Como? Como is DNF, right? I don't think anybody's using it.
There was a team previously with CSR, the Paul Ruiz team, but I don't think they're good. I don't think it's
Rillaboom, how boring. It's probably
S tier.
It's S tier. That guy's broken.
Oh, we have a bunch of really bad ones. So go ahead and scan ahead with your eyes while I get rid of all these.
Hatterene is like a C tier Pokemon. Is it C or D? I guess.
It's Gallade.
Probably D.
It's the same thing as Gallade.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the results look like for it. I know it's only seen on
It does not look different than Gallade, I think. Actually, maybe worse than Gallade, slightly, because Diego's team uses Gallade, but not Hatterene, right? So
okay. Grimmsnarl, that's another real
I have nothing ever good to say about Grimmsnarl. People constantly keep using this Pokemon. They keep using it.
Probably C.
If it's by usage, it's actually C, which is sad because it should just be D. I guess there was the Aurelian team.
The Aurelian team, the Shilling team.
Junshi got top 8 at Birmingham with it on Ice Rider. It got top 8 at Rio on the same crazy Sinistra team. It's around, man. It got a top cut Merida on Ice Rider with Equidude.
Yeah,
it's around.
Mm-hmm.
It's C though. I would say it's a C.
I hate it. Mm-hmm.
NDD is the next one, I think.
Wow,
I have a hot take about NDD. I think it's an A tier Pokemon.
We're just gonna skip Frostmoth. That made day 2 at Los Angeles. Go ahead. What's your take?
I like Indeedee A.
I think
think
Indeedee is
it
an A tier Pokemon.
low key. I mean, after playing with it in the GC again, best of 1 context, but I think you could apply it to best of 3. It feels like you put Indeedee on a team and you have like a Miraidon matchup on its own. And people say that about
Yeah.
Rillaboom, but I
No,
feel like it
Indeedee is
does
so
it
much
better than
better.
Rillaboom, especially
It's
because
so much better
they
than
hard
Rillaboom.
target Rillaboom. They hard target Rillaboom because they're like, I've got my Hearth Flame, I've got other things that are going to be really annoying. But like the specifically they have the giraffe invalidating the fake out is another big part of making Rillaboom a bit harder to bring into those Miraidon teams. Like you can still bring it and you will, but Indeedee with the follow me.
And also, Psychic Seed gives you so much
Right?
value. Follow me,
Or
like
helmets if you want
invalidates.
to break the sash on the Urshifu. Like it does a lot of annoying
Right.
shit.
And
Stops the encore from Whimsicott.
Follow Me also is so powerful into the like Miraidon itself because it like Miraidon's all its strong attacks are single target, right? Like you can click Dazzling Gleam, but once you're in terrain, it's really not doing that much damage. And the other thing is that Indeedee is also really good into a lot of these balance teams. Like if you play into CSR balance or Terapagos balance, like the teams that rely heavily on fake out cycling, it's really easy to break the pins with Indeedee, and it just introduces so much uncertainty to the game. Like,
Yes.
And so like I just think it's very, very strong right now. It's probably not A in terms of results, but I think in terms of power, it's an A.
Yeah, well, I mean, even it's got good results is the thing. It also like it had top cut at San Antonio, 2 top cuts in Merida, top cut at Birmingham, and it's on the and those are all on Ice Rider teams. Obviously top cut World on the Ice Rider team, and then all the annoying Weezing Caliber Shadow teams, half of them also run in DD, right? So like it's got usage there. Like it does have some usage.
Yep. I think it's good.
What is that? I don't know. I'm not gonna read that one out loud. I'm sorry in the chat. I don't know what you're going for. I don't know which Pokemon we're talking about, but anyways. Dragapult, does that Pokemon deserve to get rated?
DNF, I think.
I think it's
it had 1 finish, and that was on the undefeated Bologna team that had Comfey Terapagos. And I still don't know why it was on that team. I'm okay with putting it in DNF.
Oh, lucky.
I'm
that
still
guy's a
losing
C tier Pokemon, I think.
What are they saying? The thing is, the context of that message, like it could be just referring to one of the Pokemon on the screen, like maybe Barraskewda or something. But dude, did Barraskewda make the list? I think I probably just cruised past him.
No.
Oh, here he is. No. I didn't even know if he was on the tier list, but my brain did it subconsciously. He knew he was DNF. My brain did it.
Speaking of Pokemon that are not on the tier list, do we have the Ogerpon forms on there, or just Ogerpon?
Good point. It seems like
we only
just
have normal.
Ogerpon. I mean, that's pretty
tough. You're gonna have to upload
like,
those manually.
Yeah, I might have to. I think I can. So
yeah, you can.
No, I mean, I think I have them on my. Do I have them on my computer? I might not have them on my computer because I think they're only on my laptop. Maybe we'll get that figured out though.
Bro,
Regardless,
just Google it. You can find photos.
Yeah, but that's a really long stream.
Drago is a C as well, probably.
Was it Lucky C? Did we agree with that one?
I think it's a C.
Okay, cool.
Sure,
Drago.
I'm okay with that.
Is Drago C? I think it probably is.
Probably C.
I think it's C.
It's like top of C though. Like it has better results than most things in C, but like it's probably still C.
Glastrier is.
I certainly don't think it's B.
Glastrier, I'm okay with putting it in D, even though it's probably a DNF. But like,
it's in Cabalion tier. It's the other Iron Defense user.
Blood Moon probably same tier as Drago. It seems like it's about as potent as Drago. Not used that often.
I'm okay with C. It was looking like it was gonna do a lot better, but more recently it's only seen usage on like the Hodge brothers have used it, and I want to say that's like about it. Is it even on the hard TR Ice Riders anymore? I'm not sure.
Didn't William use it?
No, not really.
Yeah, William used it.
Oh no, it's on that team. Yeah.
Okay, so it's on the William is still using it. Okay, but some variants of the hard TR will run it, but not even all of them, because the more traditional side spam ones don't.
Yeah. Gut Spare probably down in
Yep.
in C as well.
See, yeah.
I didn't kill Basque Legion, but I probably should have. There was like one team that used it, a rain team that at the World
Yeah, there
Championships,
was
I
a
believe.
Kyogre team, but I haven't seen it since.
Is it
It
D
has
or
got
DNF?
0 results. It's got no results since the World Championships, and that was the only result. I think it's
Okay,
D. Like as far as we're looking at some of the Pokemon in D, and that top 32 at Worlds is better than those. And like, I don't know. I think that as I was saying earlier, the kind of hyper offensive Kyogre teams are something that people are looking into more. Maybe we
Right.
see Basque League. Those teams have room to explore. We've seen Overqrill on those teams. We've seen Basque Legion on those teams. They have some flexibility, and Basque Legion is an option on those
It's the
type of
next
teams.
one. I almost immediately deleted it, and then I was like, God damn, it did get a top 8. Do I have to rank it?
It's Basque
I-
Legion tier. It's the same shit.
Sure, I'll allow it. I don't know if it's actually D tier, but if we want to put it D tier, it's fine.
It's a tier below DNF, dude. This thing sucks.
So no, it got points. It got points at Merida, and not on a Kyogre team. You want to guess what the restricted next to it was?
Ice Rider.
No,
Right on.
Okay, I don't
it was
know.
Koraidon. It was on the Koraidon Charizard team.
It's the Kyogre counter. When they send in the rain, you just get Swift Swim. Yes.
No, it was Intimidate. It was
I was
Intimidate.
gonna say,
Intimidate.
Max, are you still here? You must have played it then, because you said you played against the Charizard player, so you played against the Overqrill. Intimidate goggles with taunt. Yeesh. What is that doing?
It's cooking.
It's cosplaying as Incineroar.
Hell yeah.
Mousehold was
Mousehold.
somewhat used on like degenerate Shadow Rider teams, but not much anymore. I think it probably
I haven't
took
seen
it earn a
it.
D.
Actually, I did see it today on ladder, but like I haven't really seen it in terms of results, so I'm not sure if it's actually.
I've seen it in the GC. I put it in D tier because it can be annoying potentially.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll allow it.
Garg's sleeper destroys both of the horses and Zam. Not bad into Terapagos, not bad into Kyogre. You get that Salt Cure off on that Calm Mind Kyogre, and it's just losing HP every turn. You get the Salt Cure off on Zam. You wide guard on the horses. You resist Astral Barrage.
Low key, I think it could be.
I don't think it's done anything. I just don't think it's done anything.
There was one that made day 2 in VR this weekend. It's its only finish. Where'd it go? I thought I had it pulled up. Yeah. Toussaint Labrie, the highest placing American player, a North American player, got 26th.
Wait,
with
that's our best
Garganacl.
player? What did we? I know that they don't run these at good times for us, but like, oof.
America.
No
They're not
disrespect to
sending their
you.
best.
It's more like a disrespect to everybody else. Like, what?
I don't think Garg is that bad, but I'm also okay putting it in DNF. Like it's.
I think it's probably DNF. Armoroo's probably
Arma.
DNF.
It's DNF.
Cloth. Okay, then what's the next mon? Is it Tinkaton? For D?
No, that's a DNF.
Okay, what
That's
about
a DNF.
Trio? Palafin, yeah. Orthworm, my
Glimora
beloved.
is probably still DNF.
I think Glim hasn't done it.
Glimora.
It's gotten
No.
it lost its job to Wheezing, which is so funny. It's so weird.
It really did. Didn't
It did.
Like in a very
got
like
laid off.
they do very different. Oh no, Jacob's here. Jacob, don't worry. No, stop, Jacob, please.
Okay, Don Dozo and Tots. Okay, my proposal is that we should rank Dozo as solo Dozo, and we should rank Tots as Dozo Giri.
I've always
dig
felt that tier list should do it that way, as well.
That being said, I think they're both in B.
Yeah.
Crazy.
but you got to separate them because Dozo has a new best friend who's also in B tier.
Yeah. So we just like do this, and then I put Tatsugiri over here because I don't want to talk about it. And Riley, yo, my GC goat. I think the Mon is slept on right now. I don't think it has any good results, so it's probably D. But if you guys would let me put it in C, I will. But otherwise, let's just put it in D.
I heard it got top 16 at NAIC. Is that a result?
Dude, it was like the strongest top 12 we've seen in a long time.
This guy Max Waterman, I don't know who that is, but he got top 64 at Worlds with it. With almost the same team that this Alex Underhill guy used.
You know, I do
It's-
inspire greatness. I don't know. That one is, as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, I shouldn't have said that. Oh my god. Okay, and let's put it in C. He's funny. Clodsire. Ooh, we have a real mon next.
Clodsire.
A very actually
Clodsire?
interesting one. Yeah, Clodsire. Giraffe.
Bridge is probably
That's an A tier, right?
Is it
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
A? Probably. I think it's still A.
Yeah. It's still part of the best team in the format, so.
Ape is not a tier below Umbreon. Yeah, that's fine. It's in the same tier as Umbreon now, yeah. Yeah, I think Giraffes probably belongs in A. It's like on a slight downtrend right now, mostly because people aren't using Miraidon, and that's like its best archetype, and I don't think a lot of Ice Riders are using it either. But it is like seeing some
No.
Kyogre appearances now, which I don't know.
Mhm.
Definitely
I
feels
think
like a
it's
do
fine.
nothing mod. I much prefer Serena on those anyways, but go ahead, Audie.
The Ice Rider team that got second at Rio did use Farigiraf, if that means anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think it's A.
Yo,
Okay,
okay, now we
Screamtail.
got
Oh,
Protos.
and Tanner Mask got top 8 at San Antonio with the Ice
Mhm.
Rider Farigiraf team too. So it's
Yeah.
been around.
Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
an A in usage, but I disrespect the Pokemon, so.
Screamer for B? I don't know if I
Screamer
agree with Screamer
for-
for B.
I think it's C.
Screamer is a C at worst, but I could see an argument for B, but I would probably say C.
Chad is saying B? I really don't know.
What's
I know
what's
that it won
the
the tournament.
point to the results? Point to the results. It got top 16 in Merida, and that's it. That's the only one. That was Max who's saying it in chat. So I don't think I think you're biased.
I mean,
A? All right, this is where
we were,
you know
we were
what?
just looking at the Terapagos team that was using it.
I'm gonna have to pull rank. I don't want to have to pull rank, but this is why we're the streamers and you guys are the chatters. I'm sorry, but this mon's C. No, you guys know what you're talking about. This mon's not going B.
It's on one team. It's on exactly one team, and it's not even always on that team. I think it's
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's a C tier Pokemon.
You have to speak on Bruce.
Brit's is a C at least.
Okay.
At
I'll
least.
give you a C.
Damn.
At least.
All right.
How high would it
I think
go?
that's
How high?
actually-
How high? Where does he stop? A tier above?
I think this guy's actually pretty good, but I do think you need Sun. It's worse than Amogus if you don't have Sun, but if you have Sun, it's pretty good. But I do think the Sun restricteds are not that strong. So
Flutter is a mon that has a lot of
That's an S.
usage.
Flutter, I think it's
I don't know if it's
A.
S right now. I don't know if it's S right now.
I think it's an A.
It could be top of A. It's probably better. The problem is that maybe it is better than everything in A, but I don't know if it belongs in S.
I don't know if it's better than Pal.
I like Pal a lot. I think Pal's very good.
I don't know if it's better than Lando or Roaring Moon either. I'm gonna be honest.
So I mean, so it's on the Zamazenta teams. It's like on all the Zamazenta teams. It's
Yeah,
on
it's
all
on
the
Pagos.
Koraidon teams, right? It's on the Pagos team that Alex Gomez used to get top 4. Like I don't know. That's the
it's out
archetypes
of a
that use it.
job. It's out of a job by the mon we just talked about, Screamtail. That's the new Bahagos booster mon. Never mind. This guy. Oh, B.
It was on
C?
It was on an Ice Rider team, the
D?
top cut San Antonio. While we're at it,
Mm-hmm,
like I don't know. I feel like
no. Wait,
Flutter Mane
Rafa,
is an
you
S
are
tier
insane coming in late with that. We talked about Pow. You're gonna have to watch the VOD. You said Pow is only really on Zamazenta? No, you're wrong. It's on like a bunch of other ones. People like Ice Rider's a pretty fringe one, but like Shadow Rider teams on ladder right now are using it. It's on almost all the Kyogre teams.
Yeah. That's the big
It's
one.
used on some of the Sun teams, not Koraidon, but sometimes Groudon. And some Miraidon teams are also experimenting with it. So yeah, I don't know. Dead wrong. Sorry.
I'm a Pow hater.
You have access
but
to the
I still
voice
think it's
hall.
better than Flutter.
You can get in here and argue with me.
Slitherwing, DNF.
Slithering, DNF. Yeah, we have a couple of
Candy
bad
Shock?
ones. There's
DNF.
definitely a lot of bad ones. So
Iron
Slither-
Bundle, I've been testing that guy. Probably DNF.
Yeah.
Iron
Iron
Hands,
Hands.
S tier.
Okay.
That's an S tier. Yeah.
That's an S tier.
Is it still S? I'm feeling the same way I feel about Flutter about that guy.
Oh, I think Iron Hands
I get
is
that.
a
That's
lot
fair.
better.
What's
Thing
his
is,
best finish here?
It got top 8 at Birmingham.
It did not get
third
top
at
eight San Antonio.
it won Birmingham on the Arabiga team, and then it also got third at Rio on a different Miraidon team. Jinchi used it on Ice Rider. It got top 8 at Rio on a Koraidon team. It's on the annoying it's on the Calyrex Shadow team that got 9th at Rio.
Right.
with
Well,
Dozo.
okay. The thing is, compared to all these other Pokemon, like I think, Flutter is not like an archetype defining Pokemon in my opinion, where like Iron Hands is, because like I think Miraidon, like a lot of its strength is because of Iron Hands. Like you, if you take Iron Hands off the archetype, like it stops being like as strong. And where like Flutter, there are other Pokemon that you can like use to approximate its role. And Flutter is used because it's the strongest version of all those Pokemon, like in terms of speed control and consolidating roles. But like there are other ways to get similar production to Flutter, and you can change what it does. Like, but if Iron Hands is not like a Pokemon, like if Iron Hands was delayed from the game, then Miraidon would just be a lot weaker. So like from that perspective, I think Miraidon or like Iron Hands is an S tier Pokemon, because like I don't think for any other restricted, like so much of its power is derived from a non-restricted other than like Miraidon and Iron Hands.
So here's the thing. I agree with all of that, but I also think Fluttermane is an S tier Pokemon. So like clearly my standard is a little lower than everyone else's, because I think they're both S tier. I think they're both crazy. Like you could say the same thing about Koraidon and his power level being so tied to Fluttermane as well. So
Oh, I mean, as someone who's run Koraidon and Fluttermane, I don't even think Fluttermane is the best non-restricted on that team.
Iron Hands has less. So I also think Iron Hands is S tier. It has some play on. Again, it's seen some play on Koraidon, on Calyrex Shadow, on Ice Rider, on Terapagos. With the Max used it on his Terapagos team. I think it was on the Nails' Worlds team, the Sebas team. I just also think Fluttermane's an S tier Pokemon. Oh, Treads. Yeah. Treads is on there.
Treads is a D tier, by the way.
Oh, my bad. Thank you. D for Treads.
Yep.
Well, why don't we have an I tier?
We can just stick them all in there.
I think these guys
Ogerpon.
are all
Wait a
repeated,
second.
except for the
Wait. Oh, we've already ranked all these guys, huh?
Yeah.
Except for the Juggy.
Yeah, I've grabbed. Yeah, it looks like this is the rest.
And I guess
You can
later is
leave-
Therian technically.
you
We
can
haven't
leave all
done the
these
Therian
Therian
forms.
Therian,
But
I'm okay leaving it off the list.
yeah, no, it's not
I
good.
literally can't think of a time when I've seen it.
If we left Thunderous regular off the list, I feel like Intimidate Lando is off the list.
Yeah, I haven't.
Which is
I don't remember
sad.
the last time I've seen it.
Sad, man. All right, then we just have these two dark types left.
Dragulus
And then
is a
Ogerpon, which I could maybe try to fix.
Dragulus is probably a C.
Yeah, I think that seems
I want
right.
to say.
Dark
Yeah.
Urge B, it seems like an Entei.
Yeah, it's a B probably.
Been doing all right.
I think that's right.
Yeah, the
I still think Fluttermane should be S tier. Anyways, I think that the talking about the Ogerpons while you get your images together. So we ranked the grass one, which leaves the rock one, the fire one, and the water one. And I think we can start talking about the water one first, because that's clearly the worst one. Which I don't think it's seen any play at all, basically.
Yeah.
What do you? Oh, it was on Diego's team at the Worlds, so it did see. And it was on Pedro's team at Rio, which is like the outlier that's putting all these Pokemon in D tier, I guess. What do you think about Waterpod?
I've thought about this a lot recently, and I think in terms of power, I would say it's probably at least D tier. But in terms of results, it's really not much of anything. So like, it's probably D. Like in my opinion, like I feel like it has some room to maybe see more play right now in the current format, but people aren't really experimenting with it. I think its main issue is just that the competition with Hearthflame. Like Hearthflame is overall more flexible and accomplishes a lot of the role that you would want from Wellspring, and so like really its advantage will just be that it's better into Urshifu and Kyogre, but it's not even that much better into those guys. Like Hearthflame still threatens them for big damage anyway, so like yeah.
Yep. I agree. I think it's a D tier Pokemon. I do think that Hard Trick Room is the one archetype that you can really justify using it on. And other than that, you're kind of hard pressed to use it. And that's because you want a different fire type on that team usually.
Yeah.
I'm just
and
letting
then
you guys carry this one. So, which one was that?
that was
Wellspring.
Waterpond, and we put that as D tier. Uh,
Wait, but the Diego team uses it. Yeah, no, it's Iron Leaf
yeah.
tier. That's fine.
And then moving on to, I mean, Fire Pond and Rock Pond are both really good.
I think
But
Cornerstone is if we're gonna parse hairs, I think Cornerstone is the worst of the two. And I think it's A tier. I'm throwing that out there.
I agree. It's sturdy redirection is a lot better in a restricted format when things like Ogre Pond is reasonably bulky and can certainly be trained to be bulky. I've seen some, in fact, EV themselves to be bulky enough to like live a Surging Strikes from Urshifu, which is kind of funny. But it doesn't being able to live an attack from Calyrex Ice without investing a ton, or Calyrex Shadow without investing a ton in bulk is really nice because you get to take advantage of Ogre Pond's natural really high speed, really high attack stat. The rock coverage is really good into things like Chiyu as well as things like Calyrex Ice. As a Calyrex Ice player, it's like one of the single most annoying Pokemon to play against, and it's seen a lot of play recently as a result. And so yeah, I definitely think it is a
You're a
A tier
Calyrex Ice
Pokemon.
player?
I dabble. I'm a Calyrex Ice, Calyrex Shadow player. Like I kind of do both.
Yeah, I'll also say
Calyrex
that for the
player,
single target
yeah.
restricted, so like I've played both Koraidon and Zalma extensively, and Cornerstone is one of the most annoying Pokemon for those restricteds because you have to find a way to like cheat the um like damage, and when it can take 2 single target attacks, it's super annoying. So I think it's very good into all those single target restricteds, even though like technically it can't do damage back to like Koraidon or Zama really, but like it's just because of the fact of the redirection, it makes it very annoying to play against. I will say also like the rock coverage is super valuable because it just like allows you to punish Terrifier better, and um, there can be a lot of restricteds that like most notably I think like the sun restricteds want to run Terrifier, but there's a number it can be pretty hard to punish Terrifier in general right now, and so the Pokemon that have the ability to do that are like pretty valuable because a lot of the top Pokemon can't really interact that well with Terrifier. Like for example, like Incin, Brilla, Pow, Chiyu, like Roaring Moon, Fluttermane, like all of these Pokemon don't like seeing Terrifier on the other side. So having something to punish it, that's why like Lando and Cornerstone I think have risen so much in value.
Mm-hmm. So for Fire Pond,
S
you think an
tier.
S tier? Yeah, I think
S
so.
tier.
Yeah.
I
I
actually
wanted to put
think
it in S as well.
it's probably like the best Pokemon in the format right now. Like I think it's better than Urshifu,
I don't think it's better than Ursh.
Insane.
But I think that right now it's this combo that is what is like the strongest thing in the format right now, because it is two Pokemon Fire, Water, Grass, and you can't do that with other Ogrepons or other Urshifus. I know that kind of is like a obvious thing, but that's the thing that separates it and why it's not Urshifu Water paired with Urshifu with Water Pond, or why Rock Pond isn't as potent with Urshifu. I mean, the double sash can be cool, but specifically that these guys hitting Fire, Water, Grass into Pokemon, but also they have Unseen Fist and also like the ability to go plus
Oh,
one
man.
attack with your ability, like follow me. There's a lot going on between just those two Pokemon.
Yeah, I think also just Ogerpon's Terra is like the strongest Terra that we like. I mean, both water and fire, but like in the context of this, fire is like the strongest Terra, like well, like in the game. Basically, it's just like they shed the majority of their weaknesses. The exception for Ogerpon Fire is Rock, which is part of why Cornerstone is good. But they like Fire is technically it's an offensive Terra for it since you retain one of your base types, but also it changes the defensive properties of its type completely. So um, it just changes the like how you can deal with it. So it both increases the damage by like a lot, but also it's still a good defensive Terra, which makes it so powerful.
That is a good point. I didn't think about that until now, but the fact that its Terra is the best defensively comparatively to the other Ogre Pawns is pretty real. That is a very
Right.
real
Well, I mean,
aspect
water
of it.
technically is better because water you actually completely you have no shared weaknesses between the two except for freeze dry technically, but like freeze dry you don't even have a weakness to it when you're water Terra because of the +1 stuff. But like um the reason why
Mhm.
Ogerpon is so good is because of its flexibility. Like its ability to be an offensive piece and a defensive piece. And Follow Me just being such a strong move. Also, like Spiky Shield is like, you don't really think about it as having that much value. Like, it's just 1/8. But over the course of the game, like if you're attacking into it like 1 or 2 times, it can really
Zamazenta Karat on
make
player, definitely.
right. I mean, it's something you have to think about, right? Like, because it's so easy for them to click Spiky Shield, but the punish is for like you attacking into it can be like pretty meaningful. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree with all that. I mean, legit. I think the main thing is that as the meta gets more and more flowcharty, because you know what you're going to face, you want to figure out what you're going to Terra. And there is literally no better Pokemon that feels like there's no Pokemon that feels better to Terra than Fire Pond, because it, like you said, defensive gets better defensive typing and gets a bigger damage boost than any other Pokemon using Terra. It's just crazy. I love it.
Right.
Yeah, it's
All right then. So how does this look to us in the call as well as chat? This is going to be the final list or so. Yeah,
Are we
got
ordering a SNA or?
I think I could probably do a little bit of light ordering. If you
I would
have
put
like
Raging Bolt at the end of S, and
yeah.
I would put
And
Cornerstone above like everything but, or like Cornerstone above Whim.
I'd put it honestly. I'd put it above everything but Flutter Mane. In A tier. I think those guys are kind of debatable, but
it's probably going to go up
yeah.
in value as Hearthflame is strong. So I can see that.
I think Chiyu is also below Roaring Man, and then I'm okay with everything else.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to move that one, so because I disagree with you. And I think you're stupid.
Okay.
I think you're stupid,
agree.
and your opinions aren't worth anything. So, cool. Glad that we
Yep.
can come to that agreement.
I like this.
Anyway, insult you and then say glad we agree. Anyways,
I agree.
I think then that's going to be it for this one. Probably not going to do Calcus right because we're already over. Screamtail and C is criminal. Leave me alone. It's going in D just for this. Like I know that it literally just went over. But I don't think it's better than that. Like I think that people will be able to overcome Screamtail. It is a Pokemon
I think
that doesn't do
Screamtail
anything on turn 1. It does nothing
it's
on turn
it's the
1.
it's like the ultimate noob stomp Pokemon, because people, like, so many newer players don't know how to play around it, and I just feel like it does worse against good players. I really do. I mean, that's kind of true of everything, but it's really true of
If you
Screamtail.
lost to Screamtail, you're a bad player. Just that's what
I
Adi's here
didn't
to
say that, but I don't
That's what
think
he
I've
said.
lost to
Adi
Screamtail
said.
either.
That's what Adi said.
What Adi
100%.
said.
So
You heard
if
it here
lost,
first.
that is basically just consider that your level up. If you ever starting now, if you never lose to Screamtail again, you're a good player. Okay.
And
So
as
yeah,
soon as
that's
you
gonna
lose to
be
Screamtail, you become a bad player. That's how it works.
irredeemable. Toxicroak needs to be higher. You know what? We can even if Wolfie's the one using it, yeah. I mean 100%. Oh, I found him. Toxicroak. Yeah. Honestly, it probably is a little bit better than Love Disc. There you go. Right between Love Disc and Glalie. That seems like the right spot for Toxicroak.
Toxicroak has been promoted to Generation 3.
No, wait, that would be demoted, wouldn't it? Maybe. The early gens were not looking good when we were going through them. Gen 1, Gen 2 do not have a lot of contenders anymore.
Honestly, Gen
okay.
1 wasn't that bad, I feel like.
Gen
I think
1's
Gen
better
2.
than Gen 2.
Let,
Gen 2 was
Gen
also
2
like a
was
really small
good.
gen, so.
Yeah.
we talked a lot of shit about Gen 2, but Gen 2 does have 2 Pokemon in B tier, so I don't know.
Yep, that's true.
That's true. But I mean, Gen 1 has more Pokemon in. Let's see, 1, 2.
No, it's only got one
only
in
2.
B tier.
Oh no,
What's the
Weezing
second
and
one?
Ditto.
Is Ditto Gen
There's
1?
like a sleeping on Johto
Well, Weezing,
joke
I
to
guess
be
is
made.
technically it's Gen 8, but.
All right. Let me I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here though. I don't know who we're gonna be rating, but I'll take a look shortly. I'm gonna go ahead and link YouTube, of course, because yeah, let me do that. I got that. Anyways, if you are here now but you didn't catch the beginning, feel free to check us out on YouTube. If you were here for the whole thing, also check us out on YouTube because you know you like us. And then otherwise, we'll be back next week talking about what was the tournament? I'm already forgetting the name. The
We
one
get
that
to has
Uh,
3 Pokemon it'd be,
Puerto
actually.
Rico.
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
San Juan.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Puff, which I still think is overrated. But yeah, that's 3.
And
We'll be here talking about San Juan regionals or special event, and we'll be previewing the European Championships, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the last event in this regulation. So, and then so we'll be looking forward to that, and looking forward to previewing that. And maybe we'll probably try to restream the probably try to restream that. Honestly, like if the San Juan special event is in Spanish, it might be a good idea to restream that as well. Might get some attention that way. So we'll see. I don't think I'm going to, because I don't want to watch this format, but we could.
I'm excited to watch EUIC for sure. Adi just canceled Vancouver. You heard it here. He canceled it.
Yep.
It's done. And Atlanta,
It's
right?
over.
That one's Reg G, right?
Yep, Atlanta's Reg G.
Oh, I'm sure as hell not watching Atlanta. I'm sorry. I cannot. I don't care if you're in finals. I'm not watching it.
The end of Reg G, like last tournament, Atlanta, like that has got to be the lowest point. But it's funny because everyone's signing up for it. Maybe people love this one and they're like, "Oh, I can't let Reg G go."
Dude, you know Reg G is actually popular among like not the super hardcore. Like people actually like this format.
I know. I'm just it's a tough pill to swallow. People.
I'm not
we're
saying
the
I
H-
do. I'm just
the
saying
H
people in
haters,
general.
dude. The H haters. They wanted this. This is what they wanted. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here though. I'll throw it on the stream ending and I'll figure out who we're gonna go throw the raid to. But yeah, maybe some streams later this week as well. If not, definitely gonna be back next week. Just been a little bit busy lately. So yeah, you guys have a good one, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Good night.
Bye.